What's up, potheads and political junkies? You're watching Cannabis Culture News live from our beautiful studio here in Vancouver at 307 West Hastings, Pod TV Studios, brought to you by Crop King Seeds.
Crop King?
Yeah.
I love Crop.
And Sunwest as well, actually.
And Cannabis Culture,
by Sunwest Genetics.
There you go.
And there's also some Medtainer going on.
That's right.
Yeah, it's actually the iGreen Planet Store Limited. Medtainer is just one of those other things.
Me and Johnny here, Neil's on the boards. Carly Marley in the hot seat.
In the hot seat.
Yeah, where is she?
So I brought my my
amount
of cannabis I can consume.
Yes.
In a period of a couple days.
I hear voices.
Whoa!
Oh,
Mr. X-Man.
They are.
I think he's
Craig X is in the house.
I used to crash his show all the time, so now he just shows up.
What's up, man? How's it going? So yeah, check out if you see what's in front of us here. It's quite a stack of a lot of garbage.
What's happened on this side? Okay, so I consume. So my license is 30 grams a day for my medical conditions, which everybody knows, my broken neck, all kinds of different stuff. And so I bought 2 days worth of cannabis. And
2 days.
Yeah, 2 days.
It came in 40 fucking boxes.
Yeah, exactly.
It came in a couple big boxes.
All this packaging
I love
is
this one. So Jared's
less than a
got
quarter.
his 1 gram package right here. I got my 3.5 gram package right here.
Yeah.
I know mine's only half full because there's a whole storage in the bottom for the tracking device.
Yes.
How about yours?
Is that what it is?
I'm thinking.
Tracking device? No.
I was like, what?
That's not what it is.
Well, look at
It's
there's
just
a hole in the bottom
I've
of
been
the
getting bad vibes from that container since
I know.
we
I was
opened
like,
it.
what's going on with the container? So
Let's see. We should tear one open and see. Bud Cam, let's check this out. Look at. So this is.
Tear it open. I want to see what the fuck.
All this giant metal thing has in it is 1 gram. It's a metal container, and inside.
3/4 of the way full is just empty hollow space with a metal topper on top of it. So only a quarter of the whole container actually is
You got to press down on it.
I can't.
So
I didn't want to touch it, really.
Here, give it. Touch it!
To me, that shows that the company recognizes that they were packaging only a gram in that, and they made a different kind of packaging for the gram that has less space in it to keep the weed fresher. So to me, if you're going through that much effort to make a different kind of packages for your grams, why would your gram packages not be the same size as a gram?
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense.
This is what legalization looks like right here.
No.
And
a lot of ways.
It looks like a bunch of jars and boxes and shit you can't fucking open. That's what it looks like. It looks like fucking garbage to me. It looks like
so here's the idea.
Wrong day to
You
come
just
here.
got your you got your weed. Okay, it just came in the mail.
I don't know.
You were stressed out and you can't get into your weed.
That thing is messed up.
Never mind. You're stressed out. This is the same kind of stuff
How
that
much?
medical patients get.
You gotta press down on the top.
Weed in.
Yeah, good luck being a
How are you supposed to open this if you're using your weed to help with arthritis?
I was just gonna say.
Seriously, like, oh, I'm having really bad arthritis.
See,
I want to smoke a joint.
This is why we called the show today Legalization Frustration.
Second.
Yeah, Johnny's frustrated with his
Fuck
package.
that noise.
See, the problem, for those who haven't been tuning into Pod TV over the past week and seen some of our coverage of this issue, we actually went to the Kamloops store here in British Columbia, the only legal pot store in BC. We took a road trip up on last Friday on this show, and it was interesting. When we first went into the stores themselves actually looked pretty good when you go in. They're like well designed. There's terpene charts. The people are helpful. The weed in the little smell jars actually looks half decent, but when you get all this crazy packaging home, because you can't actually look at the weed you take home, you look at weed in a little plastic jar, and it's got little holes in the top of it, and you pull it up, and it's got like this little retractor thing on it, and you can smell through a little hole. But then you go up to the counter, and you take this little form. They give you a little golf pencil, and they give you a form. Show that off to the cam.
So it's
here.
like IKEA. Does it say that? Hang on.
It's like here. Yeah, it
says BC Cannabis Store?
It does. It's a little golf pencil that says BC Cannabis Store. Yeah, and they give you this thing, and you fill it out. Then you take that up to the counter, and they go and get all the packaging out from a seat behind a closed door, because you're not allowed to look at it, not allowed to see the packaging, and it has these little THC logos on it that make it look like a stop sign with THC, and a bunch of crazy-ass lies essentially on the packages. A lot of packaging
bullshit
there.
propaganda.
Okay, this just happened. Like, sorry, it's like you guys saw it, but here. So
Look at this
little
one.
package like that. I'm like, wow, cool. So I bought 1 gram, right? That should come in
1
something
gram.
This big, if that. So nice little box, right? Pretty cool. You're like, oh, check out this nice little container. It's pretty cool, right? Like, check this out. It's like a fake top.
And there's more cardboard inside
See
the
that?
thing.
Like, whoa! Did you see? Like, I was like, whoa. Okay.
Why?
And the container within that box is
And then a
still
tiny little
excessively
container.
large
Look,
for a gram.
and look how big the box is compared to the little container.
Why?
Look at how it's.
Here's your label.
And I will say that
Unbelievable.
I know that dispensaries do have some work to do with packaging and reducing plastic as well, but at least the dispensaries are giving an appropriate
Non-reusable
size.
packaging.
I don't even know how you do that one.
Appropriate size baggie
just
for a
screwed up on that
gram
last
or a
one.
quarter gram or whatever the size is. At least they're not giving you an excessive amount of packaging. But this is way
insane.
overboard. Yeah.
And then so you get the packaging home, you get the boxes open, and the weed doesn't look anything like the way it looked at the store. And some of it, even though it looks half decent, when you smoke it, it doesn't taste that great, doesn't get you high. And when you put it under the microscope, none of the buds had any heads on the trichomes. We put a lot of the buds under the
Oh, that's a good
microscope.
thing. I was gonna show you
Anil was there. He saw firsthand. Carly was there. They had little black dots all over them, bug poop and everything.
This is
I
actually
think my
insane.
stuff came unaccessible. Carly's trying to get
It's
that.
not child-proof. This is human-proof. This is insane. I put my full body weight in tri-twisting. It's like, and it's on a gentle.
Ah, 2 joints just came up with a really good name, Anil Diamond.
I love it.
Okay, Jerry, your turn. You ready
Now
for
we
this
have to
one?
make him smoke a
I already
lot of
tried that
diamonds
one.
on every show.
No, you tried this one.
This is insane. So, would this qualify as a refund? I think my weed is like underweight because
You need a hammer to
it
open
doesn't
it.
really count as much weight when you can't fucking
Okay, so you can take
access
this
it.
label off and put it on something, and then you have legal weed. And then you can peel off this sticker.
Put it on your medtainer. You should start making medtainers.
This is a
that
reusable
look
container
like-
right here. Here's an XL. It's got its legal weed on it. I got the container. It's got its tax snap.
And this is
I wanna
the
do that.
same.
That's fucking smart.
So we bought. If you
I just
guys
want an
tuned
XL.
in, you saw some of the weed we got. The little crumbly bits. It was dry. Some of it smelled okay, and some of it even looked okay. But when you rolled it up and sparked it, it didn't really taste that good. And we didn't get high. We smoked 9 joints the day that we were there, and we didn't really get that high. And then under the microscope, we
We
saw
didn't
why.
smoke- I don't think we finished any of the joints.
No.
The thing that I noticed is, and there's problems in dispensary and black market weed too, for sure. That's a thing. But the thing was, there wasn't any strain that all. I think one actually that's not true. The De La Haze.
Yeah.
It smoked good.
That would be De La Haze?
Yeah, De La Haze. Sorry, it smoked good. It looked good. It tasted good. It smelled good. That was
But-
the only one out of like 20. After
Yeah.
I tried my
But
strains,
under
that's
the
about
scope,
25.
it looked like shit.
Did that one look bad on
The
your scope?
Della Haze under the scope, I believe all of them under the scope looked. I think
The
there was
only ones-
nothing really. The
ones
only ones that
actually
looked good under the scope
Under the scope
were
had-
Royal High.
And they were the Royal High.
And they
one of the
smelled like
Royal High
plastic.
ones that I looked at on my show, without even the same quality scope that Mr. Cookie has, we could see black stuff and some weird stuff forming. So even that company isn't necessarily safe. But there hasn't been any strains.
None of
Apparently
it's good.
none. Not
I
one
wouldn't
strain.
buy
I thought
any of
there
this
was one,
again.
But I guess there's not even that one that all smells good.
Maybe
Looks
that
good
was
to
the Della
eye,
Haze.
Smokes good and looks good under a microscope.
I don't think any of them.
None of them. None of them.
No.
If it looks good under the microscope, it tasted like shit. It burned like shit. If it looked good and smelled like it looked shit under the microscope, there's none that hit all the points that you need to.
No.
You know, and some people are like,
It's
oh,
poor
well,
quality.
dispensaries aren't doing lab testing. Dispensaries aren't testing. Dispensaries actually do testing, and they do the same testing that we're kind of doing, which is looking at it, smelling it, and
Yeah.
smoking it. And none of these that
Yeah.
I've smoked, I can't think of any dispensaries that would be like, yeah, people are going to want to smoke this. Let's sell this for $14 a gram, $12 a gram.
Everything that there was none.
burns
There,
like
I don't think
shit.
any of them actually had all 3, which was looked good, smelled good, and then or smoked good, and then look good under the scope.
Yeah.
4 things. I don't think any of them. The only one, the pre-rolls might have actually been the best of all of them.
The sketchy thing is once the pre-rolls
The Whistler
are busted
pre-rolls.
up, we looked at the busted up weed, so it's hard to tell like some of the issues that we actually saw with the cannabis. One of the worst issue we saw where there was weird green and browny colored bumps, that was all along the stem.
Yeah.
That wasn't on the leaves at all. So if you were to take that bud and peel all that bud off and bust it up and put it in a
Cookies
joint,
in the
it would look
house.
fine, but it was
Brian,
just looking bud.
the fire
What's up, Mr.
inspector's
Cookie?
here.
Brian, can you get in this container for me?
Oh my
We're
gosh.
still looking at legal weed
Does
cookie,
anyone have a hammer?
and
Okay, so
No,
Brian,
because I have a plug.
we're trying to express to people.
And that sucker?
We,
Hey, Cookie, you want my seat?
now we will show you some of this weed because we did do this all before.
She's not there. Who? Oh, she wants keys?
Oh, what? This is the one that has mold on it. This is the Broken Coast, the Broken Coast Quadra. Oh, whoops. No,
Yeah,
there it
let's
goes.
come on.
Moldy
Can't
pot.
get in the container.
Put that away. Go
Yeah.
wash your hands now. Nobody smoke anything that Jared touches.
No, just give me a
can't get
alcohol.
in there either.
Give me an alcohol wipe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brian still can't get into the, which one's that? Skunk? DNA Genetics. We love you guys. But
So
okay.
Your packaging's
let's
tough.
let's show off some of the boxes here. This is what, like, where's that bud cam? We'll do the box
Yeah,
show.
but have you read the back of that box? Check it out. They had it covered up.
Look at how big this box is for 1 gram of pot, and then when you open it,
Oh my gosh, this is the best part. This is the great. This is so
Did you get
convenient
it,
for
Brian?
people who are
you squeeze these little
chronic
tabs on the side,
What'd you do?
and then you open it, and it's that.
Brian's now breaking my container.
It doesn't have anything in it anymore.
But
That was the Tangerine Dream. That was the only one that actually looked
wait,
good.
Wait, Brad, we gotta show. This is what you have to do. See this? Can bring it to the lid.
You can, yeah, you can switch cams.
Okay, so first you have to
Break off the lid.
break off the lid. Okay, break the
how
lid
did
off.
you do that?
Pair of scissors.
Oh my gosh.
Now you're not going to be able to get it off.
No, then you gotta like finagle it.
It was.
So this
The
is
packaging
childproof
is
packaging.
frustrating as well
Can you
as
get it?
wasteful.
Wow.
Okay, and then the thing is too that I'm wondering.
Look at these
about,
crumbly little bits in
There's
here.
there's a lot of people who are really chronic smokers, and most people put a gram in a joint. But there's actually a lot of people who smoke pot that aren't chronic smokers. I mean, David Malmolevine, huge activist, big pothead. He'll take 2 puffs of a joint and he's good. So all these people who are ordering the 1 grams, even with the way too much plastic and everything, as soon as you peel the tab off of the packaging in the style that you just showed, Jer, there's
not
no
reusable.
way to store your weed. And you have to store it in the government packaging. So basically people who normally wouldn't want to smoke a gram
Wait a second.
are going to
here.
have to smoke the gram, otherwise it's going to get
No, it has to be stored.
transported. It has to be put in the
Doesn't have to be.
Isn't it supposed to be?
Weed at home, so you
Yeah.
can have weed in the bag.
You can have
Yeah.
1,000 grams at home
Right,
Yeah,
but let's say
30
you want to like
on you.
go somewhere
Yeah.
else and smoke a legal joint with your friends at
You
their
can
house.
put it in a bag.
That's still so sketchy. You're supposed to be having it with the government packaging, and it's
do-
like,
You bought a plant
Do-
art gallery too.
Do you know who else is a chronic smoker? Me. Koala Puffs from LA. She's coming up to do the show next week, episode 150, plus also meet and greet at High Score next Thursday at
Expert
7:30.
plugs.
Plug. Gotta go.
Yes,
right,
check
Craig, go
out
sign up.
Craig's show next week. It's your 150th
50th episode.
episode, and Koala
Koala Puffs, the Instagrammer,
Puffs.
is coming up. Sorry to just hijack, but I gotta run. CJ
Instagear.
Slippy's over there waiting.
from LA.
She's coming up from LA. Instagear. She's super cool.
And you guys
really
are doing
popular.
a meet and greet at High Score.
We're doing a meet and greet at High Score after my show, so tune in for the show 4:20 next Thursday, and then come on down to the meet and greet. There's an Eventbrite page.
649 East Hastings Street.
Yep, there'll be some goodie bags. There'll be some giveaways. There'll be some entertainment. There'll be DJ Slippy. What's going on, Slip?
Yeah.
My co-host over on the Fridays
Yeah.
show there. That Carly will be
That's
on next
dope.
Friday.
I'm glad you're coming and doing that, man.
Hey,
That's dope.
so definitely
That's very
good things
cool.
to check out. It'll be a lot of fun. Not only would it be cool to be episode 150 and have her on the show, but then the meet and greet, her first time in Canada. So it should be fun, and it's been incredibly popular. Like, we might have to get some rope and stanchions and have a lineup out the door.
Good.
Yikes. High
Good.
Score is a place to be next Thursday. We'll see you there.
Yeah. Yeah, and High Score every night, open till late
always the
now.
place to be.
I think we've extended the hours now, or we're going to midnight every day.
follow
But
Nice.
us on Instagram, guys.
yeah, it's starting to get busy. Really,
I love the
nice
place.
there.
It's a lot of
so.
fun.
A lot of retro video games. It's regular arcades for a Neil. Exactly. Yeah. Well, come play some games if you're in Vancouver. Yeah. Oh, we got to play the video now. Where is that? Can you send that to Anil so you can play that?
Do you have a
um,
YouTube link, Jer?
It's up on YouTube. You could probably find it there. I don't know where it is right now. Yeah, you could go to CLN's YouTube page if it's up. And look at these.
So one more try. You want to try and get in the container before you leave?
Not really. I ordered it in the first place, really. If I'm honest, I don't really want
This
to
weed.
do with it,
I've actually noticed
So-
I have bought about 80 grams of weed, and I can honestly say
80?
Yeah.
Holy moly.
You're only allowed 1,000 at home, bro.
Well, I did one
I
thing.
only brought
ordered
10.
Saturday and Sunday. 30 grams Saturday, 30 grams Sunday to see if it would come Monday or Tuesday. Hell no.
What a waste of money.
Yeah, they could have shipped it. Well, whatever.
Well, and now here's the
And we
other
waited
thing.
for the pot truck. Like we waited for the pot
We
truck.
are going to
and
play
twice,
some
as we
videos on the
used
show
it,
today.
minutes later.
We're going to play some videos on the show today about how frustrating it's been for people who want to buy cannabis across Canada because the stores don't have enough stock.
break it,
All of them have shortages, and the amount of supply they have isn't going to last very long. So the way that the government has designed this system, there's a whole bunch of problems with it, and they're causing real frustrations, almost a total shutdown of the system because
I'm gonna send this back.
they don't
I
have
can't get
enough
into it.
supply.
And
Yeah,
of course, these suppliers
I'm literally
that
gonna
are
send this
supplying
back
the-
and say I can't get into it and see what happens.
good.
I've also ran out on my order and they refunded me twice already. So
Also, these suppliers are all the same licensed producers for medical patients. So if we're seeing shortages in the recreational market from the same suppliers that are supplying the medical market, this means this is impacting medical patients. And that is true. I've talked to a lot of people who are LP providers. I talked to one friend who just had hip surgery, and
Yep.
they are with one of the Tweed companies, and they haven't been able to get a high THC indica strain since
14.
like the summer, and that's what they need for their pain. And patients can't even get that should be pretty much one of your CBD, high THC indica. Those should be like the two biggest priorities for any medical licensed producer, because those are the two biggest things for medical patients. They don't have any high indica, but I'm sure we got one from probably a Tweed conglomerate here in this pile of shit. It wouldn't be surprising to me at all. So.
There was 8 high CBD
There
strains
were.
at the BC store location.
That's right.
So, and yet patients aren't having access to this. That's insane. That's insane.
That's right.
It's
Patients
insane.
first.
The whole thing is kind of
But
insane.
we really don't want to have patients consuming this cannabis, I don't believe.
No, it's probably for the better.
Especially when I've heard, a lot of anecdotal evidence, and people coming to us and contacting us being like, hey, this is the way
really
that
bad
my
part.
body was affected when I was smoking LP weed, and this is the way I feel after not smoking LP weed anymore.
What are those little black bits under the scope?
But
What are the
there's
black
definitely
bits?
a correlation there between people getting sick and LP.
What are the black bits on the weed, Cookie Man? Under the scope, all those little black dots. When we put it under the scope.
Like mite poop or something like that.
Yeah, I
We
was gonna
still
say
didn't
fire
like.
mites.
Yeah, I didn't find it again. Like when I tried to go back and rescope it, but under another like more powerful magnification.
Yeah.
It showed like lots of residuals of different things, which leads me to possibly believe that there's pesticides maybe sprayed on and not rinsed off, moldicides, fungicides, all the stuff they're allowed to use, but just
They're supposed to flush it and
supposed to like rinse it off and do some things, but yeah, some of them they didn't.
rinse it. How do they rinse off pesticide off
What
a
you do is you
pot?
put a plant in water and you just submerge it and give it a shake.
Really?
Or
No,
you
I'm
just, like-
kidding. You don't get
like,
pesticides
what?
at plants.
There's no way to do
Hey, it's a
that.
good tip. Brian's
It's like, what?
Really? Yeah, so you just take your plant, you submerge it underwater, and you
How do you wash off
all the
pesticide?
Well, like when we used to do.
I'm
like,
so kidding. It's
greenhouses.
ridiculous. To get a pesticide or any kind of chemicals you put in your weed when you're growing is a lot of water. And on that note, 420.
There's no. Yeah. Happy 420. Just make sure it's not government pot in
No,
any
no,
of your
no, friends
bongs
don't let their
or.
friends smoke that.
No.
7 Acres is just at the market, so supposedly that's the supreme cannabis. I believe in the company and the people all behind it, but I'm having a hard time believing the product because I thought that was Aurora brand stuff too, and it was like no.
No, and it was all the Aurora stuff. Every single Aurora package we opened was underweight as well.
No, you're confused.
No, I'm not.
Or isn't it that the Aurora ones were over?
No, the Aurora ones were under. Every single one
I
of
take a
them.
look, and I'm
Which
looking
is
at
Under,
the
under,
dates on
under.
this, guys.
Look at
So
here's
let's
the
take a look at
Aurora.
this.
This is Blue Dream
But when
from
was it packaged?
Aurora.
When was it packaged?
Yeah.
Blue Dream from Aurora.
Most of them
too.
were October.
And you look at the
Early
I'm
October
seeing
and September.
August.
The
And they-
earliest I've seen is August.
The weed actually looked okay. remember, the weed looked okay and it smelled okay, but it was underweight. And then when we smoked
the
it,
weed didn't look great. The
No.
weed didn't smell great. It looked okay.
It smelled
and
okay.
It smelled okay for some of the strains.
and then when we smoked it, we were not happy with it. And then when we scoped it, we were definitely not happy with
Even
it.
on my show Monday,
Yeah.
I scoped one that I thought looked pretty good. It smelled good. I thought it was going to taste good. I rolled it up in a joint. I took 2 puffs, and it was like, fuck no. Because it burned like shit, and it tasted like shit when you actually burn it. Anything that does actually have a distinctive terpene profile when you open it up, that terpene profile is gone when you start that joint.
And
Right.
also under the magnification, I noticed that some of the, like, you can notice some of the issues like powdery mildew and things like that. Now, I don't know what their proactiveness is, but some of them looked like, especially those harsh ones that we smoked, that were just like harsh on the throat. Like
The
with
pink
powdery-
kush.
The pink kush. What
Yeah.
powdery mildew does to you, like if you just smoke it normally.
Yeah.
But it looked like they almost like noticed it was happening and then used a fungicide on it, and then it kind of ceased. But it didn't be removed from the plant, so when you smoked it, it was still harsh as fuck, like powdery mildew. So it was like a weird one.
I wonder if it's going to be that anybody who wants to smoke good pot in the future is just going to have to get it from the black market,
Or grow
like
their
will
own.
or grow their own. Because
Here's the
will they
problem.
ever be able to fix these problems? Like I just
They
don't
just-
know.
This is
able
where
to.
craft growers
I think
are coming into play, and this is
That's
what they're
exactly-
doing right now. Okay, so
I'm
I went to-
disappointed.
I went to a pasture party on the island, was full of craft growers. There's all these things, and I'm talking with hydroponic store owners. I'm dealing with the industry, and everybody knows I worked for Pacific Northwest Garden Supplies for years. Worked
Yep.
with Green Planet Nutrients, and I deal with a
We
lot of
didn't know that.
hydroponic stores, a lot of people in this industry, and they're basically hedge hunting. You got 4 or 5 different LPs. They're
Hedge
looking-
hunting, I
Yeah,
love
that's
it.
what I say. They're looking
That's
for,
funny.
and it is.
But see,
They're
I
out
don't-
there-
I don't want people
they're
to
out
have
there
to do
trying
that.
to find all these guys that have been growing illegally.
But you have
for
to sell
years.
it through an LP though.
Okay, so what they sign them on and they sell to an LP. And now what I'm understanding, it's for 1,260 kilos a year, which is roughly 250 pounds a crop.
Mm-hmm.
You can go up to, I think it's up to 1,200 square feet. I don't know the exact, all the stuff on it. It was supposed to come in an email, but I didn't receive it yet. But what it is now, if you're a craft grower, if you're a grower and you love cannabis, and you go to the best cannabis, and you build this awesome facility, and you truly want to be in this system, there's a place for you in the system now. And that
But you have to
place-
sell out to an LP at the
but
moment.
you would have to go to an LP, like
Yeah.
say Zenabis rec line is Namaste,
Right.
and if you go to Tweed, their rec line is DNA or this one here. So they have their rec lines. The rec lines are going to be produced through these craft growers.
Here's the thing, though.
And now you're gonna find your craft growers. So like we go to dispensaries, we know when the Ultra MK Ultra comes in by so and so, and you know his weed's coming down next week, and you're gonna line up to get that weed. This is what's gonna happen in the market. People are gonna start knowing where these craft growers are and who they are.
Hopefully there'll be
The
one
difference
good
is,
one at
though,
least.
The
Well, here's the
difference
best one.
is
So,
somebody
here.
goes to dispensary, the craft growers go to the dispensaries, or they have a rep go to the dispensaries, and they go, look at my amazing product.
No, they can't.
And then the
It goes
people,
all to
I know,
an
but what
LP.
I'm saying, this is what happens now. And then people see it, and then it goes right on the shelf, and that amazing bud, when it's at the peak of being amazing, is available to consumers. So if you have that same grower have to go through all these extra steps, then have to have it go through the approval and have it
gotta
be
go to
stored in
Tweed
a big
first, then it's gotta go to the
facility,
government
and then
facility,
it's stored in the big facility, and then
packaging.
let's say it gets a little bit of mold on it, and then they go, oh, let's spray it with the fungicide, and then it goes to the consumers from there. That's not really that same craft cannabis anymore. So if that's going to still be an issue, that's
That is true.
still going to be a
Okay, so
problem
how
for me.
about
I'm not
this?
going to want to buy it from that craft cannabis supplier. I'm going to want to continue to go to that person who's growing it themselves directly and get it from them, where there's not
You
this
watch how
middleman
fast this
bullshit.
craft cannabis is going to shut down, because honestly, I love the market, I love the industry, I love people who grow weed and stuff like that. But now I got a craft license, and I can sell 250 pounds every 3 months to fucking pick an LP. Who cares? I don't even want to say it.
Well, why don't
Okay,
we
so
do
now-
this?
Now I can do this. Now,
Let,
I
fuck
just
the
brought down-
LPs. We should
fuck
start
that.
we should start our own LP essentially. We should start our
do
own
that.
group that is allowed to process the cannabis from private
there are a
growers,
lot of people
and
are doing this
then
right now.
and fuck those guys
You have
because
Craft BC, you have a few different ones. I think Brian knows what I'm talking about. I've seen
'Cause not
some of
everybody's
them, I
gonna be
don't
able to
see
do
them
an
off by
LP,
heart,
right?
But even people
We
that
are- we're not
grow
allowed as
it
cannabis
are
culture.
Trying to create a craft industry.
Yeah.
Right. And we've already, and everybody's trying to get involved with that. We're trying to keep the roots alive.
The craft industry is already created. What we need to do is remove the over-regulations that we have in place right now to allow that already existing craft market to be available to the public. It isn't about creating a craft market. The craft market is already there.
I think everybody should go out and get their legal license to grow for sure. Everybody ought to be LPs or get as much as they can,
You know
so
what?
that
But
you
here's the
don't.
next
So you
big
got
thing.
more
So now-
selection and you
now you
don't
got
have these
people-
guys who have been doing it badly for so long in charge of
You
everything.
remember back in the days when people were buying licenses and grams and stuff like that? Well, it's a whole new system again. So now, Brian's smiling. No. So now you look at this. So now there's craft growers, and there's these guys that, and the only way to get into the game is they need to work off a medical license. So now you get somebody who goes and gets a 25 or 30 gram a day license.
Woo!
They're now selling it to a grower who's going to build a facility to try and be a craft grower.
Right. Yeah.
So
Well,
it's another vicious of
eventually-
selling medical licenses again, and it's being, I don't know,
I'm sure eventually the systems, some of this stuff will work itself out and get better, but it might be a while before there's really good cannabis at any legal store. Because, and as we were saying earlier on the show, we've got some videos to play about the shortages and about how hilarious the rollout of this legalization has been across the country. It's been a complete failure and a frustration in lots of ways. Not a complete failure. I guess they've had lineups down the street of these places. They're selling out of stock, so it's not like people aren't going to them. But the problem is there's not enough stock for the stores.
This one, right?
Yeah.
2 days after legalization, marijuana, the entire
all of Canada is running out of it.
weed.
Well, we have a couple of videos about
Running
this.
out of bad
Now,
weed.
We should play the first one.
But it's a picture of me
Anil-
standing in front of cannabis culture.
like the-
I know, that's
If anyone's
funny.
curious,
And you
Canada
know what?
isn't running
I
out
was-
of weed. There's lots of good weed on the black market.
Where's
There
the
is.
high-end weed?
We still have our dispensaries open, by the way, Cannabis Culture. All of them in Vancouver. We're not closed yet.
Yeah.
They who are dispensaries? We had lines around the block when we opened our dispensaries. We were not in danger of running out of cannabis, no. When we opened our
ran out?
dispensaries in Montreal, we had lineups that went on for days around the block.
Like Calgary lineup.
Massive lineups. They were huge. And it's been like that across Canada at these new stores. When we went up to Kamloops, there was a lineup outside of that store. Waited for 25 minutes. No, it wasn't 2 hours.
That long.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't so bad.
The next day, it was about 25 minutes when we waited.
Yeah?
Yeah.
For us, it was only like
10.
10, 15.
Yeah,
or
10,
something.
15. We went in twice. We went in the first day and then back to buy more for Carly's
When
show.
you went back, first you went in to film everything and didn't like that.
They didn't like it. No, they didn't. They didn't allow me to film in there at all.
That
I
security
seen some
guy
pictures
was
from in there.
getting a
Those
little
some sneak
bit
pics.
tight.
Oh, there were
The thing is, they're
People on
allowed to.
Instagram and
there was some sneaky. Yeah.
People are, and they're allowed to take pictures of inside the facility. It's not that they're trying to keep the facility a secret. That's why you see some like media places have gone in and taken pictures when it's empty. It's because some staff members don't want their photos taken, which even in the industry we can kind of understand because sometimes it takes people a little while to explain to their family, have them come around. You know, we've had a lot of staff members here who
Working at the
take
weed
6
store.
months to a year to let their family know. We had Moda on the other week who was talking about how she told her parents she was a chef for years and now they know she's an edibles chef. So we understand that. I can understand that. It isn't something to be scared of though. So
Oh, did you guys know that there's a big giant Ferris wheel at downtown Vancouver on Robson Square?
Yeah, till 7.
What?
Yeah, no, it's till 7. I was already on it. Yeah.
God, that's like
Noon till 7.
So
$5
yeah, it's
donation.
$5 to enter. You can go on the Ferris wheel here
You
in
can hop
Vancouver.
off
It's
the top shelf.
I was up on top shelf. She was up there, you know, looking
Smoking
down
the
on the
top
art
shelf
gallery.
on the
Well,
top
how
shelf?
often? I have been protesting at the art gallery for God knows since like 1995, I think 96. So it's going to be 20 years, and it was pretty nice to kind of look down on that
more.
protest today. That wasn't there, but I'm like, I used to be down there, so it's pretty cool to be on the Ferris wheel.
Throw a roach down.
And you know what's really cool is yeah, at the same time, as soon as you get the art gallery, there's that smell of ganja. It'll
Constant.
never go away. You know what?
I think
It'll
it's just
last
like
forever.
permeated in there.
I think it's permanent at the
It's
art
like
gallery.
made
So
in,
if
like,
you ever come to
sticky
Vancouver and at the Vancouver Art Gallery, go to the back steps, light up a fatty, and just understand that we've been protesting there for over 20 years.
I never smoked. I should go smoke bongs there, actually.
Hey, you know what? I did. My biggest bong took was at the Pearson's Airport.
Oh.
Outside the smoking lot. I said I couldn't. Didn't know. I said, where can I smoke? A medical. They said in the smoking area. So we went over the smoking area, pulled up my TY bong, and started doing bong rips. And it was amazing how there was about 8 or 10 people around there. No one's talking. Everybody's smoking cigarettes. We pull out a bong. Within 15 minutes, Mark's pulled up the camera. We're all talking. Everybody's getting involved. It's kind of fun. We need more smoke lounges, by the way.
We do need more smoke lounges, and that's one thing that we've, you know, at Cannabis Culture, obviously we do things differently than other dispensaries. We have our lounges, but we're not closing our dispensaries or lounges right away, and we might not be closing them at all, depending on what happens with this court case. Yeah, there's a court case going on right now in the city of Vancouver, or it's wrapped up, and we're waiting for the judge to make a decision about whether the dispensaries themselves are serving a purpose by providing access to medical patients, and do they have a constitutional right to be open. So we're trying to argue that in court.
Not trying. We have argued it and did a very good
have
job.
argued.
We presented our case.
John Conroy, Rob
John
Laurie,
came in, Rob Laurie,
Jack Lloyd, Dean Davidson.
There's a panel. And you know what? Congratulations on the guys that fought hard for medical. And one thing we do know is with the new system, and that's the first thing I complained about when I logged on, there was no creams, no topicals, there were no edibles.
Yep.
And I logged on at midnight, and let me tell you, I was really, they were already sold out of pills within like 1 minute. So I tried grabbing CBD pills because I'm really curious on what they were producing, because I make my own and I get my own, but what were they producing? Could I buy any? Not.
An ashtray.
You know, the only thing
I bought everything I could, pretty much. You can see in front of me. I bought everything that I could. And they kept running me out. They're like, you've exceeded your 30 gram a day limit. I'm like, damn.
Yeah,
Next day, it's like, you've exceeded your 30 gram limit. I'm like,
I wanted to try to buy more than 30 in the store and just
Nope.
to see if they caught me, but there was stuff.
Why waste your money?
I was hoping I ordered the Saturday night and then Sunday, because I ordered at that night.
Well, couldn't you
And
just
then
walk
I
out and go
ordered
back
again
in?
for the next day, and I was hoping to get both
Yeah.
orders on the same day.
You can just walk out and go back in.
Yeah.
So, but if the staff recognizes you, I'm pretty sure they can say you've already had.
You've
your
had
limit.
yours for today.
You've had yours.
But
that's so
you're allowed
No,
a
I
thousand.
haven't, because
You're
on
allowed a
medical, here's
1,000.
my card. I'm allowed to carry 150 grams. Buck me up.
I thought it was
but
per
you're allowed to get
transaction.
30. You're allowed to have 1,000 grams here in BC at home. So like, if you're traveling to the weed shop, the only legal, technically weed shop, shouldn't be able to like buy a fucking 1,000 grams and bring it back to your house
You can only
because
carry 30 grams.
you would be all sealed up. So would that be like a fight to be fought?
I can go to the liquor store and buy the whole damn liquor store with the
Damn,
shop.
Skippy, I
Yeah.
did last night.
Ryan's got some
Sorry,
alcohol
this
for
weekend,
sale.
Mr. Cookies.
We're coming
So-
over, Brian.
Started bootlegging. You guys can call me after midnight.
He's not
Let's
selling
play-
weed anymore. Brian's selling.
I want to play one of these videos. I want to play there's two videos I want to play. The two that are about the run out of weed. Oh wait, there was first the high score commercial we were going to play, which is hilarious. This commercial was made by the guys at CLN just as like a joke, and it's really funny. So I thought we should keep it and use it as a commercial because it's really funny.
Freddie pictured the weed war. Where is Freddie these days?
You know we got that super
There he is.
sticky
Free the
BC
weed.
dank. Grab your friends, grab your quarters, and head on down to 649 East Hastings Street, Vancouver. You think you got what it takes? Come on down. Let's go!
One of Canada's top medical marijuana producers is facing a shortage. City News learning tonight that prescriptions are not getting filled because government inspections are being bogged down by the demand for recreational weed. So this means some people with cancer and other serious illnesses are left waiting for their medicine.
My product is basically for anxiety and pain and sleep, right? And I'm telling you, like, it works good. It helped me a lot.
We started investigating after a viewer named John from Barrie called our newsroom. He's battling a rare form of incurable cancer and tells me he called CanTrust to fill his prescription and was told it was out of stock.
I'm going to make my order soon. I was going to make it on Saturday, and they tell me that they don't have no product at all.
And why is this the first time they've been out of product in 2 years?
Yeah, because they can't get the government inspectors around enough to inspect the product to put it back on the shelf.
Thank you for calling CanTrust.
City News made 3 calls to CanTrust customer service line. We spoke to 3 different people and got the exact same story.
We are working diligently to move these products through external quality testing that is required by Health Canada, and we are experiencing extended timelines due to the increase in overall industry demand.
I was told by another customer service rep that before legalization, 20 marijuana testing labs in Ontario were dealing with 10 licensed producers. And now with recreational weed, there are more than 100 LPs. We also reached out to CanTrust for an official statement, and here it is. We're all working hard to fix this urgently and have increased the number of third-party testing labs that we work with to speed up the process. We expect to have oils and capsules back in stock this weekend and dried flowers following shortly thereafter. Our team is reaching out personally to all of our patients to make sure they are up to date. John tells me he prefers medical marijuana to opioids. He calls it a miracle drug and says it was a saving grace during chemo treatments. He now worries other people are also suffering.
When I go to the doctor's office, there's all kind of folk. There's elderly folk, you know. There's a lot of newcomers, elderly newcomers, and like, where are they going to go for their supply if they don't know another way, you know? Like, what about them? Like, because there's others in my shoes, of course, right?
Now, we also brought these concerns to the federal government. Minister Bill Blair's office told us there are now 132 licensed producers. And with any new system, there is bound to be an adjustment period. We also asked if medical marijuana should be a priority. So far, no response to that question. Now, we uncovered this issue because John called our newsroom. If you're having problems getting medical marijuana, we want to hear from you too. Or if there's another story you want us to look into, you can always reach us by phone, email, Twitter, or on our website, citynews.ca.
And yesterday we shared the frustrations of many Ontario Cannabis Store customers who've been left not high but dry after their marijuana failed to be delivered. Your voice has traveled all the way to Queen's Park today, where Finance Minister Vic Fedeli found a convenient scapegoat for the lack of dope.
All of the cannabis store assumptions were made, as we've talked about many times, based on illegal data, illegal information from illegal sales. And guess what? The criminals lied to us. They did not properly report their sales, if you could imagine that happening. So our assumptions, of course, were based on all illegal sales. Now, at 100,000 orders on the very first night, that is certainly larger than every single other province in the country put together.
Well, I guess when you assume there's no grass for you and me, you can share your opinions on how the province has handled marijuana legalization anytime on our social pages.
All the shitty weed.
Wow. So these guys are blaming the criminals. They're like, the criminals didn't tell us.
The criminals grew fire for too long.
So, geez, we should have, I guess.
I don't know. I just remember back in 2012, late 2011, is when Health Canada started having meetings with the BCCF Victoria and Compassionate Club with.
No, they know what the
it's
fucking ridiculous.
They've been doing this.
No, that's such a crock of shit.
The whole thing is they said one thing very much from the start. They were going to limit the.
They can see how many people go into the store every day. They don't need to listen to the data of some operator or whatever. Who are the Ontario government talking to anyways? Oh, they're like, it's just all of that. That's absolutely not true.
The whole thing is the person that's never tried weed. Like when I was down at with Dana down at the kind of celebration in Victoria.
Building.
Yeah,
I remember looking across the street and seeing that average Joe guy, and you know what? He had a plant in his hand, and he was so fucking damn proud. And you know what? There's no way there's no way in a possibly anywhere in the world he would ever have that plant, but because it was legal. To him, it was like,
but it was actually still illegal.
No, but you know what? He felt like you could see it.
It's safer, yeah.
It was safer. You could just see it, and you know what? I think that relaxed a lot of people in Canada.
It
but at the same time,
safer, even though there's more ways for us to get in trouble. There's
Yeah.
like this weird feeling, like it feels nice that I can walk around with a bag full of 1 grams weighed out that says cannabis on it, and walk out the door and know that I'm not breaking the law and nobody can say shit, and I don't have to like hide my Karma Cut bag in the bottom of my backpack. So
The laws are still stacked against us, but they're impossible to enforce.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot of fucking shiftiness there. There's a lot of shiftiness there.
And some people are probably going to be the fodder. Some people are going to be arrested and still charged.
Fodder, yeah.
And like we've seen in the press since legalization happened, there's already been people pulled over in their cars, arrested or not arrested, but yeah, there's raids that have happened.
People leaving the dispensaries with their illegal weed, and I call them dispensaries because they are, in my opinion.
No, it wasn't somebody who was at
But I thought it was funny. Someone went into his legal thing. He bought his legal weed. He lit up a joint, started smoking, jumped his friends away.
No, it was just after midnight. It was 1 a.m. and he smoked an illegal joint in his car after 1 a.m.
Yeah, and he got busted.
On it because they wanted to be able to be the first. Probably the cop is still patting himself on the shoulder for being the first person to bust somebody for smoking a joint after legalization.
Yeah.
Like they were watching for it.
But again, it's mostly fines, though.
All they had to do was sit across at his house.
And
not
fine.
And in that case,
it's
though,
not fine.
It's not fine, but it's fines.
The thing is, too,
it's still better than being arrested for it.
David Malm-Levine's talked about it before at our shows.
But you can be arrested for driving high, though.
In a lot of ways, because what that means is if you can afford the fine, you can do whatever the fuck you want. So if you're rich, you can break a lot of these laws. But if you're poor, you can't afford to break these laws. So if you're rich, then you're not going to give a fuck. You're going to be able to drive around, smoke joints in your car, knowing they're probably only going to give you a fine.
No, wait a second.
If you get three,
if you get three for driving, you're going to get your license taken away.
Yeah, you're going to get
impaired.
Yes.
Understand that's completely different.
That's
if you're impaired behind the wheel, they're going to take your license away for you and give you a $5,000 fine.
And they can, after 3 strikes or something, you get in serious shit. Like there's jail time.
Well, that's my point is though that even fines, they might seem like a slap on the wrist to some people, but to somebody who only has $400 in the bank and then they smoke a joint to help them deal with the stress of that,
it's still
not
fair.
They get a $350 fine for like smoking a joint or walking down the street or something like that. That's fucking wrong. And then there's other people, the rich people can afford
I used
that.
to get
So that's
SkyTrain
not fair.
tickets.
It's still the people, the most vulnerable communities
I got
that
44
are
of
going
those
to be affected
cocksuckers,
by these laws.
And that's not
these
even never
cannabis
have to
laws.
pay them, right? 44 SkyTrain
Then they put
tickets
'em on your
in
license.
2003. So they took my license away, and I kept
44.
driving. So then I got, after the third time you write 3 strikes, you're out. I got 16 weeks in jail, weekends for driving while not being able to drive.
I didn't know that.
I had to go to, this is a long time ago, so I was just like a nightmare, right? Fighting WCP
When
and
Johnny was
everything
in the
else.
clink. Jail over parking tickets,
So I got,
or over
I did
SkyTrain
I had to
tickets.
go on a Friday and got out Sunday, counted as 3 days. You just 14 days, big deal. It was like you order pizza, go in, smoke a joint in the back, whatever. But then I couldn't drive anymore, so I started taking the SkyTrain. And remember when the buses all went on strike for 3 months, Brian?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so now I got to walk for 45 minutes to get to a SkyTrain to go one stop. Do you think I would pay? No. So they started knowing me. So they would just give me, just started giving me a ticket. And I'm like, I'm never going to drive again. Took my license away. Screw you guys. You're on strike. What are you going to do? So in 2010, I got my license back. That cost me $1,488 or something like that to get, because I had to pay for all those $44 SkyTrain tickets.
So
you know what? You're going to get a ticket for smoking weed. It might not sit on your record, but at one point, you're going to go get your driver's license or something, and you know what? You're going to have to pay that ticket.
Of course.
And that's the whole thing. So don't think if they get these stupid tickets, I'm never going to do anything. Yeah, I'm just saying it's going to catch up with you.
$1,500 to somebody who has a lot of money isn't so bad, but $1,500 to the average person who's working a minimum wage.
I didn't have any money when I had to pay for that. I borrowed the money from my dad.
That's a lot of money. That's
It
a lot
is.
of money.
Dad,
So
I need to drive to
that's kind
work.
of still
Let me
my
some
point,
cash.
you know? It's not fair. It's still the people, the most vulnerable communities that are going to be impacted by these bad cannabis laws. It's going to be the poor people. It's going to be minorities. It's not going to be the rich white
Yes.
people. It's going to be the most vulnerable communities.
Yes.
So
But
that's
isn't
why
it like
these
that
issues
anywhere
are
in the world?
still big.
And that's what prohibition has been from the beginning too.
On the wrist to some of
Like I said,
us,
it's
it
not around
doesn't
the
seem
world.
like a big deal, but it is a big deal because it's
Yes.
going to impact communities that should not be negatively
It's
impacted
true.
by cannabis laws anymore.
All right, roll the next video because
I got
it's
44
about the
tickets.
same. Roll the
It wasn't
next
for
one.
weed.
This one's also
Roll it
about
up.
the shortages. We got a couple more.
Short me up.
Check her out here. There we go.
Carly, you're right.
Yeah.
And local consumers want to know what the holdup is. Here's Tim Brook.
Sativa, indica, even hybrid strains. If you head to Edmonton's Alternative Greens looking for cannabis, you
Of legal cannabis in Canada, but what was expected to be a massive celebration has turned into a bit of an economics lesson. Supply and demand means many shops are already closed, having run out of stock, and local consumers want to know what the holdup is. Here's Tim Brook.
Sativa, indica, even hybrid strains. If you head to Edmonton's Alternative Greens looking for cannabis, you won't find any of them.
We hit the sold out roughly, I think it was noon, maybe 1 o'clock on Friday.
Alternative Greens is just one store that was unable to keep up with the surging demand for legal cannabis. So now, instead of these tills being used for business, they're locked behind window bars.
I have a feeling that there's going to be a lot of disappointed people in this city right now.
Supply in many cities has been unable to keep up with demand. Canadian production is behind thanks in large part to a limited number of approved growers. So approved retailers are doing this.
As soon as AGLC's portal was open to make a second order with them, we were already on top of that.
But that next AGLC shipment isn't expected until midweek. So Edmontonians are flocking to other stores to pick up what's left.
We placed the biggest orders we could possibly place.
Nova stocked enough cannabis for a month, but they're expecting to barely make it through the first week of legalization without running out.
We didn't anticipate having to reorder so quickly that we've had to do, but we wanted to make sure we didn't run out, and hopefully we'll get there. It could be close by Sunday night, but I think we'll be all right.
Their lines are still long, but that's to be expected.
Pretty well running non-stop 10 to 10. The 12 hours we're open each day.
They have what other retailers would love to have. Retailers who are now missing out on 2 types of green. Tim Brook, CTV News, Edmonton.
Well, how come Ann kept saying that that's our store we're opening in there? Huh?
Oh, we're back. No, the store in Kamloops is a government store, not a private one. There's no private stores open in BC yet.
And you know what? I mean,
they will be opening, but
we've got one popping. Alberta, I can say, from what I see, because of course I'm doing a lot of branding and stuff like that, and locally for things. I would say Alberta to be the ones that are opening up the most stores.
Oh yeah, but have you seen how expensive those stores are? Like when you go to the Alberta. So Jody went to the Alberta stores and sent me back some pictures of her receipts. So we're talking $60 an eighth. $60 an eighth. For some half decent DNA stuff.
Here's some stuff. It was right here, so I bought.
Her order was
the Kinky Kush.
$280 for a half an ounce. $280.
Must have got some shitty weed.
Yeah.
No, I was talking with
all the
Tracy
prices.
Curley back in Ontario, and she bought from this LP right here. Okay, so I bought the same strain.
That's your Medtainer.
Yeah, of course. Because it's reusable.
See, that's the containers they should actually use.
But here's the container it comes in. Oh shit.
Oh, we should smoke that.
No, it's illicit.
Illicit.
Now it's illicit. We should smoke that shatter.
Jesus.
It's not shatter day.
Or what is it? Rosin?
Okay, anyway, so it comes in a container like
Johnny
this.
Rosin
clam.
So one's reusable, one's not. I guess this one was a little small, but
the Medtainer is the only package you should be ordering your cannabis in, but. So yes, massive shortages.
What I was getting at is this company here. I got Kinky Kush. Okay, just what it was. I'm just curious because I wanted the bottle. That's all I was curious about because it was about the size difference. And I was talking with Tracy Curley online. So in BC, the Kinky Kush is $6.95 tax in.
Yeah.
In Ontario, exact same strain, exact same bottle was $7.95. We compared the websites. It wasn't like you couldn't see it. Like you can go on, and you could see that if you're in Ontario, this costs you $1 more.
Prices were actually half decent in the government store in Kamloops. There was some $6.99 grams, $7.99 grams. It was all half decent. But the Alberta stores, they're private stores. First of all, remember the government has very deep pockets, so they can have like more employees than customers working in the place. Like when we were in there was so many employees working at the same time. It was just insane, and they're standing around with nothing to do.
And you're only letting 5 customers in at a time.
Yeah, they're only letting a few people in at a time, and so that's why they keep maintain a. There was more.
5. I was listening to what they were doing is letting in 5 at a time, and then the staff from the store would come and let them know when to let in another 5 people.
Exactly, but that doesn't tell you how many people's in the store. There was at least 15 to 20 people in the store.
Yeah, 'cause there was a little crowded.
Yeah, but there was literally 5 to 10. There was literally 5 to 10 employees on the floor, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a lot, and and of course those are all union employees. And they all work for the BCGEU, and they're all getting paid union wages. So if you're a private store and you're trying to compete with the government stores, you're going to have pretty damn deep pockets. Like, the government has a lot of money to throw around, so they can lower their prices on purpose. As long as you don't lower it for cheaper than what you paid the government for it, then, yeah. But of course, the government is the one who's selling it to you. So when they sell it to themselves, they can charge whatever they want. Obviously, they make it cheaper for themselves. So
I'm just torching over here.
Johnny's torching. But yeah, so there's some serious issues with the new legalization.
This is a double wall.
Of course, we didn't even get into all the nasty stuff. We've been talking about it for weeks on the show about the fact that most cannabis is still illegal, and if you don't have cannabis that came from a government source, they can try to charge you, but you can.
These horrible, shitty sources we've been talking about that have potentially mold, pesticides, radiation damage, etc. If you don't get it from one of those sources, then it's still illegal.
And so the key is get the container. And then just put your weed in the container. Or like what you guys were saying, you are allowed to grow your own weed at home, and so theoretically you should have it in a baggie. But what we've been reading in the articles is that they can harass you and they can ask for proof of where your cannabis came from. So whether or not you grew it at home or not, they're going to be like, well, prove it.
And then Here's the really scary part about that. Even if they ask for proof, and let's say you don't have the receipt or the container, you can try to remember what the receipt said, what the store looked like, what the package.
Well, what if you grow it at home?
Et cetera. But the thing is, even if you have it in the package, even if you've got the receipt from the day you bought it, even if you can remember when you bought it, everything, they can still go, you know what? Even though you got all this, you got the receipt for this package, and it looks like a government package, I don't believe you, so we're gonna take you in. And we're gonna
That's true. It's their
so
discretion.
The thing is, again, this is gonna be totally up to the discretion of the cops. If they decide they don't like you because of whatever reason, I don't know, for example, say skin color, because sometimes cops are prejudiced with
Wearing
things
a
like
poncho.
that.
Oh, really?
Wearing
Have
whatever the
dreadlocks.
fuck.
Never.
They can decide that
Don't
they
say your name is Johnny.
What are you smoking, John?
is legal
I squished some legal peanut butter breath this morning, and
legal.
Yeah, well, because I grow my own.
You grow it.
And I am personally allowed to extract that pretty much any way I want, but I use heat and pressure.
That's right.
And that one flies right underneath the radar. We all know that. Health Canada didn't put that on paper.
So it'll be legal.
You can buy all this weed, go home, grab a clamp, squish it, and make rosin. 1,000%.
Or the return's not very
this
good.
stuff
It's legal for you to smoke it, but you're a medical patient, so it's illegal for me to smoke it, though.
You can't go home and squish your own legal recreational weed and smoke it?
No, it's illegal it's illegal for you. That's not what I'm saying. I said no to your question. It's that I can't smoke your medicine. You're not allowed to give away your medicine as a medical patient to me. So it's illicit cannabis when it gets into my hands or into.
But if Jeremiah were to buy himself some cannabis from the BC cannabis store
Yes.
and then bring it home, he could potentially make rosin himself with that cannabis, and it is legal. And he
I could
make
squish my
edibles
own.
himself with it, which would be legal. And the government is doing it, so you have to make it at home, so it's safer. But in reality,
I couldn't make
having a
BHO,
bunch
though.
of people trying to learn
allowed
how to
to.
make fucking
No
extracts
BHO.
at home and
No
try to
BHO.
learn how to dose edibles
BH,
themselves
no.
at home instead of all
There is
the
no
companies
edibles
who've been
available
doing
right
it for a
now.
long time and actually
What do you
know the
mean?
process
There
and know
is
the
no
doses.
edibles
That makes
available.
no sense to me. It's way more dangerous having people be like, have at her. You might not have any idea what you're doing, making extracts and edibles, but yeah, it's safe.
But
to
they're
have you
but they're
do it.
banning BHO.
Well,
or banning the process of
Wait a
extracting
second here.
using
Cannabis
any
has been
kind of.
illegal my whole life, so they banned everything up until about a week ago.
Yeah.
Right. So now at least we have weed, but now there's certain things. But yeah, someone can actually go to a legal dispensary or something like that and buy 60 grams of weed, go home, grab a can of butane, and blast it to make a couple dabs.
yes, they can.
They can't blast with butane.
Sure.
I thought that you could. I think you can do any kind of home extract.
No, it's banned.
It's banned.
It's banned.
You're not allowed to use chemical.
You're not allowed to blast anything. It's
the
illegal
Cannabis
to
Act?
blast. Yes.
Solvents.
I knew it was illegal to make home grows, or illegal to make home extracts and edibles.
I can't go home and make
You can
moonshine.
make edibles, but you can't make certain extracts.
I
You
can't
can
make
you can
moonshine
s-
at home.
Make
and
solventless
I
extracts.
I can make beer. I can make wine. So I can grow my own, but I can't make moonshine. I can't make
Right.
hard
Grow
alcohol,
potatoes, but
right?
you can't make moonshine.
All right. So here's the whole
Can
thing.
grow
So
corn, can't make moonshine.
can't make moonshine. But you.
But
can- you
people
can-
do
you
anyways.
Can grow cannabis, but you can't. You
Make
can make
moonshine.
hash.
Yeah, that's true.
You can sift it.
The
Because it's the first
moonshine.
bounce of what falls off of the tree. It's like anything, so you can actually hit that on the
Still
screen and
think
you can
it's
dry
safer.
sift
I
thing.
still think it's safer, recreational, medicinal, otherwise, to allow people who've been doing this for a long time, know their
Can I have one
stuff,
of those,
they've
Johnny?
learned from their
No.
mistakes, they've
It's
learned how to do
illegal.
this properly and make a quality product, they learn the dosage,
me
they learn
illegal
the potency,
dabs.
allow them to be a part of the market, as opposed to having all these people try to figure it
We'll
out
make
for
this dab
themselves. Like,
Sundays.
I just have a black belt. When I learn how to grow, it's going to take me years to learn how to grow and grow well. And it's going
It's
to
okay,
take me
we
years
can
to
do
learn
this
how to
dab
make
as
good
well.
quality extracts for myself after that. And there's going to be lots of people like me out there. That
Yep.
doesn't make more sense. It's not safer to me at all. It's safer to have the companies that are experts and have been doing this for a long time and are doing it in safe environments allow to be given a
Yes.
license. Products
Yep.
by Secta uses a kitchen safe, food safe kitchen. They know the dosage of every single one of their products. They're consistent. They never go bad. They always have the expiration date. Why is that not being allowed? That kind of product not being allowed in the market? It makes no sense.
And they're saying it's going to take upwards to
A year.
before.
It's in the. There's an amendment. There's an amendment.
For the next year, patients have to suffer, and that's why this court case is going to win.
That's
Well,
right.
Yeah.
The thing is, too, I'm also wondering.
I hope so.
Yes, absolutely. Without a doubt, patients need to be able to have access to good quality medicine, and this is not good quality medicine. So the dispensaries have a right to be open to provide medical cannabis.
Yep.
But are we like the everyday consumer?
Okay.
Is it ready?
Yeah.
It's fucking dabbing.
Illegal dabs.
No, they're legal because I made them with my medicine that I grew and I squished it, and I'm a legal patient, but it's illegal for me to give it to you.
Well, no,
Damn it!
That's your recreational stash, bro. You're allowed 30 extra grams.
Oh, no,
I didn't actually possess it though. Only my lungs possessed it for a second.
Justin Trudeau.
Yeah. So we lost our cam there for a second. I don't know what happened. We just XSplit crapped out.
It went away.
I think we're back now. Should be back everywhere, are we? We are back.
Oh, there we go. Look at me. I was like screaming up there.
So what, Johnny, what rosin was that?
Okay, so actually I was just thinking out loud in my brain, and this would actually be the Comatose.
The Comatose.
Comatose.
That,
So squishing Comatose.
it's got a funny flavor to it. It's
got a
weird.
funny flavor?
It's earthy.
Earthy?
Yeah. I like it. It makes me instantly high as shit.
Well, this is what we call non-LP weed.
Non-LP weed.
Yeah, it actually gets you high.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm afraid of what's going to happen if they're using all these legal pesticides and then they're squishing it and making extracts with that stuff.
Oh, yeah, their pesticides are going to...
That's...
No, they're not squishing, but their extracts that come around, they're not
I think
going to
they're
be very
using
good.
CO2 right now. I don't know.
That does kill a lot of stuff, but still.
Does it? Yeah. Will that get rid of...
Well, that's what they say. I don't know. They used to tell me that when BHO first came out. They were like, all the BHO smokers were like, don't worry, bro. We just blast it. The butane kills all the mold and stuff.
But that's not true,
That's exactly why some people get sketched out about buying solvent extract.
Yeah.
Once again,
but...
So that was a nice dab.
It's still happening in the rosin world now. Now they're squishing all this shit, and people don't know the difference.
Yeah.
That's true.
That was a nice illegal dab.
Nice illegal dab.
But, yeah, we do have another video to play here. This is... we've been talking about the shortages in marijuana across Canada as part of the legalization rollout.
Too short.
All the governments didn't actually do what they were supposed to do, or they basically, all levels of government have dropped the ball, thought they could monopolize it, but their monopoly doesn't have enough pot. They don't have enough legal weed to even last for a week,
like
let alone the year.
So think
whatever.
about this. Think of the lineups outside of all these stores and anticipate 5 million people went up to buy weed, so we're talking 5% of the population or whatever like that.
Yeah.
And everybody bought 2 grams. That's
Yeah.
10 million grams. And we already know. I'm the guy that bought 30 grams,
Yeah.
because I was curious, but I mean, we're already diving down now.
Yeah, and here is another video about it. This one's interesting, and Neil's whipping it up right there magically in front of us.
Magically delicious.
A marijuana shop in Portugal Cove, St. Phillips, Newfoundland. And he joins us now for more. Thomas, first of all, thank you so much for joining us today. I understand you're a bit of an expert. Even your middle name is H. Herb, so your initials are THC. So you've got quite a history with marijuana that we want to get to, but you are experiencing quite a short supply in your store.
Yes, indeed. You know, I prepaid from one of the licensed producers close to $70,000 for product that I expected to have the day before the 17th. When my shipment showed up, there was only about 15% of what I had ordered and prepaid for, and they're telling me that the rest of my first shipment won't be here until midweek. Meanwhile, the Tweed store downtown is going to be getting their second and third shipment from that same supplier. So, you know, I feel like it's a bit of a bad business practices to not satisfy everybody's first orders before you start shipping out second and third orders to other businesses. So I don't know if it's underhanded. You know, I was a little bit late getting my municipal approval, so I had to get things together quickly. I don't know if that had something to do with it, but also I want to speak on the quality of the product. My customers are telling me that a lot of the product is really dry and doesn't seem cured properly and might be a little bit light on the weights here and there. So I'm telling everybody who comes to my shop to use a Boveda freshness pack in your jars, because that will keep your weed from drying out. So the quality issue is going to be an ongoing problem. You know, if these great big suppliers are putting out product that's not as good as the black market supply, then people are going to turn to their dealers because they're getting the product that they want.
Right, and I want to speak to that actually because you have some experience selling marijuana. You were selling it on the black market for 3 decades, I understand, before getting your license. So what do you think needs to be done so that the government's goal of preventing the black market from thriving, that they reach that goal?
Well, in order to do that, the quality has to be there first and foremost. Something else I want to say is, the Health Canada packaging, I feel like cannabis users now have become the biggest landfill dumpers in the country. We need to change that. We don't need big plastic containers to have our weed in. We can find a packaging that's safe for kids that doesn't end up in the landfill, I'm sure of it. And the quality has to come up. The supply chain has to come down the line. My supplier was very transparent with me. They let me know that the Tweed store was going to receive their second shipment before I got my first. But that doesn't justify it to me. They need to have product in my hands now, and the quality has to be good. I'm looking forward to receiving my Broken Coast shipment in the middle of the week, and right now that is by far the highest quality product that I've seen on the shelf.
Right, and so Thomas, you're expecting your next shipment in about a few days. Still a few days that your shop has to remain open though. So how are you doing business? How are you staying afloat right now?
Well, I have a lot of merchandise. I probably have one of the largest selections of glassware. I have a large selection of vaporizers and hand pipes, and I have my own branded clothing. I have a shirt behind me says "Long may your big jib dry," and has a picture of a joint in the Republic of Newfoundland flag colors. I'm sure that's going to fly off the shelves. I've been opening the doors and having customers come in just to have a chat and see how the shop is. My shop is really unique. I have a record player here. I'm playing my 2,500 records I have available. I have a lot of old Newfoundland antiques on the wall. All my storage walls are made out of antique crates from old companies from Newfoundland. I think it's going to be the place to go. Plus, I'm giving people information about product and what I've been hearing back from my customers. There's a lot of cannabis smokers within the cannabis community who are not very impressed in the last couple of days, that's for sure.
Okay, we have to leave it there, but Thomas Clark, thank you for joining us, and we wish you the best of luck as well.
Thanks, and I'm on Twitter at THClarks. Thanks for having me.
Okay, Thomas Clark, owner of THC Distribution, joining us from Newfoundland. Thank you.
All right. So, interesting. Well, it's just sad that these guys who are going legit aren't able to get the stock to sell to their customers.
Well, the whole thing is...
And the problem is the stock is shit when you get it. Like he's saying, the stuff's not very good. And just to clear something up, or at least in my opinion, everybody talks about Broken Coast as if it's so good or something. I've not been impressed with almost like Broken Coast to me is not that great. Like I don't know why everybody thinks it's so good.
I love D&H Genetics. I like the smell of it. The feel. It's bone fucking dry weed.
It's dry, crumbly, dry.
It's crumbly, dry weed. At least
let's get the bud cam over here.
Like, come on, you can use Maddox Boba.
That comes from Tweed.
That's from Tweed.
Here, let's turn that off on the bud cam here.
But look at all the triclones on the thing. I can wipe them off the side of the thing, and I
Yeah.
can tell you right now, you
Looks
can
okay.
feel it. It's granular heads that have all fallen off.
Well, at least there were heads on
I
it.
smoked a joint of it. You know what? It tastes pretty good, but I think it went out halfway in the ashtray, and I just kind of let it alone.
We could siphon. We could sift it.
Yeah. I haven't been impressed with
So I
any of
gotta
the
go
bud,
buy
really.
bud, 'cause it's sold out.
We
It's
tried a
sold
whole
out.
bunch of different strains, and when we put it under the microscope, and when none of them really actually had any of the 4 things you'd want, which is looks good, smells good, smokes good, and looks good under the scope. Not one of them had all
See,
4.
well, this one here, you got that crazy lid. I just opened it up for the first time, and that's what it opened up into. So I just opened that. I haven't fucking touched it.
It actually smells really
Gotta
nice.
stop swearing.
See, I like the smell of it, but it'll have one, and then, you know.
Feel how crispy that is.
Oh my god, it's so dry.
That is so dry. I have no. This is gonna burn and hurt my throat.
Here, let's show that off in the. Let's show that off in the bud.
I mean, it smells good, but it's bone dry weed. Come on, put some humidity control
It's
in there. Do
very
something.
dry.
It's very dry.
Dust in the bottom right there.
Yeah, it's just like dust. Thanks, Brian. It's bone dry. I just opened it for the first time. Yeah, just opened it. And it's called Moon Dream. And it's an indica because I wanted something pure indica.
They're dreaming.
And this is, of course, by Tweed, and their Breck line is LBS.
LBS, yeah.
LBS, but it's manufactured by Tweed.
Yeah, lots of BS.
Bone dry.
No, none of the strains.
Love the
Like we
bone
say,
dry.
some of them smell good, but they won't taste good, or
But
they won't look
bone
good
dry
under the
weed?
scope.
Come on.
And all this dryness. That's pretty much across the board. There wasn't any weed that wasn't too dry.
Just that one, that Warlock was alright.
The Warlock, yeah.
But then it smoked
But
like fucking shit and under the scope.
You know, the broken
Yeah.
stuff I had here.
Yeah. No, none of them had everything you'd want from weed. I would not purchase any of this pot ever again. Not one. Not one strain.
If you were to sample someone to bring these in and bring them to you and show them to you, and you were to smoke them and say, hey, Jeremiah, I want to supply this stuff to the cannabis culture dispensaries. How would you
Nope.
react? Any of the strains you think you would be?
Not one.
You know
not
what?
one strain
There's
that would be
something
okay
look
with
at
selling
this
in
one
cannabis
here.
culture. Not
So
one
if
of these
anyone's
strains.
curious,
I looked at the Broken Coast, okay?
dispensaries might not be doing lab testing because it doesn't really make sense in terms of how long you have the bud.
This
By the
isn't
time
as
you get
dry.
the results back, there could be new issues with the bud because that's the way produce
That's
works.
not as dry, but it's still pretty
dispensaries
dry.
are testing
It's still
and
pretty
usually
dry.
pass
It
the
looks
dispensaries test.
pretty nice.
That's right.
But one thing it is I haven't smoked it, but Corey from Corey
from around the way.
He makes a pretty awesome glass blower. He posted on his Instagram that
Oh,
he had
Corey.
bought some of the Grail from Broken Coast, and the joint was so black. And
His friend bought it.
Johnny, smell this stuff.
I did one. I did an Instagram thing there.
Don't touch it because you won't want to smell it.
Oh, that's the moldy stuff.
Like literally smell that.
Oh, yeah, you can
And that's
smell it.
Broken Coast.
You can smell the PM in it.
They broke the coast,
They
all
broke-
right.
that's
But you can
moldy
smell it in
weed.
Salida. Like Seuss when like when I open up a bag of shitty weed, you can smell the PM in it.
Yeah,
and you can
that's-
smell it.
yeah, you
It's
can
so
smell
much.
it.
Smells like
It smells like a-
smells like somebody left a
Don't
bag
pass
of
it.
bread
Like Carly
sitting
said,
on
bread-
top of
bread
their fridge
smells like
and then
bread
you
mold.
Can we see
really
that?
pour into some
Have we looked at that closely?
We did look at it closely, and it was covered in black residue when we
Look-
looked at
oh,
it.
yeah, we
That was
looked-
the weed that we just made us want to scope out the stuff.
Moldy weed. And that's Broken Coast. And before the
And
legal,
you know what? I've been heard good things about Broken Coast.
Yeah, well, that's what I keep saying is people keep saying good
Jody
things about
market
Broken
their
Coast.
weed from them. We
but-
smoked a bunch of it.
But Jody got Broken Coast weed because she had a medical card because she heard they were the best, and we looked at a whole bunch of their stuff.
Don't put that to me.
It was not. It made there was some Broken Coast stuff that was definitely not flushed properly, and it
Yes.
made my mouth numb, and it burned black,
Burned
and we had
lips.
to light it over and over again, like Amsterdam weed
come
back
on,
in the day.
guys.
Back
Like,
in the
like
day.
you don't have to rewrite the wheel on how to flush weed. It's a no-brainer. But
They were
the problem
cutting
is
corners, though.
these guys are hiring
heavy
people
and
that
as
say they
big
know
as they
how to
can get
grow
it.
weed. And when you got some big corporation, you gotta go, yeah, this guy said he's got 20-year experience and it looks like he knows how to grow weed. They got no idea.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
never been a job title or anything or no training for these type of jobs that are available now. So now we're getting all these guys.
It's like
that
you
are
got to bring
lying
them a
these
jar of
guys.
weed. You're like,
And
you want to see some
honestly,
fucking fire, boys? Check
I've been
this out.
growing cannabis for 25 years plus, and you know
But they
how
don't
hard it is
smoke.
to grow 50 lights. You know the challenges it is, or to grow a 20 light show with heat, humidity, mildews, everything. It's easy to grow 4 or 5 plants. It's easy to grow a 4 or 8 light room. That's why I do it. It's easy. But I've grown 40 light rooms, 50 light rooms, 20 light rooms. They're hard. They're hard to
Oh,
control.
medical.
You got to know exactly what you're doing. You got to know when to air and stuff like that. And honestly, I don't understand how you can spend millions of dollars on growing facilities, and these places are sophisticated fine art facilities. And they're not growing fucking good weed. Should
We're
be
gonna
growing
have
quad
to-
weed. This should be killer. My buddies grow small shows, and they can grow 10 times better weed than anything I see here.
We have
Anybody
to
I
get
know.
good growers licensed
This is
in the
ridiculous.
system.
This is an insult to Canada and to the people that have to buy medicine. Because this is
Yep.
not medicine. I'm
No.
looking at it, I can see it, and I can't even look at it.
No,
It's
That's not
disgusting.
Canada
waste.
weed.
This is not Canada. This is
This is
bullshit.
not Canadian cannabis. This is not what our weed is.
This is.
I
It's
so
not-
worried.
it's not BC,
I'm
bud.
smelling moldy,
You mean
powdery
tourists
mildew
probably
weed from
came to
Broken
Canada?
Coast. That just made me sick.
You mean tourists probably came to Canada to be like, yeah, I can go where there's legal weed, and bought some of this shit and smoked it, and don't think this is what our weed is like? No.
I know.
I'm so
Yeah, sorry,
disappointed.
America.
Sorry, guys. Come back and buy some stuff off the black market. We promise you like it.
Not
Denise-
really. The breed's not really like this.
Ready Can
It's
Farm.
pretty
This
sad.
isn't even good as like Beasters was. So like, just
No.
I have to say one
And
thing.
Neil's
Sorry.
been saying one of the most important points of all this, the whole
That's one hell
reason
of
why
a
they're
gram.
making these
Wow.
licenses so expensive.
That is one hell of a gram. What do they know my
That's
name was
not
on
a-
it? That's I only bought a gram.
Wow.
never seen that.
They got a
I've
scale?
never seen that either. There's one in the. I can go grab one from the.
Grab a scale, and there's still a little nug in there.
It smells great.
Oh, that's
Actually,
over a gram
what
for
company
sure.
is that?
If I had to say that,
Oh,
I'd be
it's my
like
favorite, guys. Ready, Can.
2.5.
Guys, he bought a lot of Meditainers from me, and then one day they decided to buy fake ones.
Was that real?
What?
White Shark. It smells really good. This is not your weed from somewhere else, Johnny?
No, I just opened it right in front of you.
It smells like White Castle. White Shark must have a White Castle profile.
I bought White Shark in 2 different ones because I was curious.
God damn. Smell that. That smells really good.
So now it's probably going to smoke like shit or taste like
Yeah,
shit.
exactly. That's the problem is.
Well,
you might have
but
one.
everybody
We
says
should
it
scope
all
it.
smells good.
Yeah, a lot of it smells good.
A lot of it does smell alright.
Yeah. The terps are there, apparently. But
sorry, DNA, those terps are lying.
Yeah. and just
I'm
because
I'm
it looks
excited,
good,
I'm just curious.
if it doesn't have any trichome heads on it, then no. But that would definitely be weed I would smoke if I just smelled that. Yeah, show that to Cookie, man. That's pretty nice. I want to try it.
Yeah, anything.
I'm really partial to White Castle for some reason. I don't know what it is. I love White Castle. Yeah, it smells like it too.
Well, it's more in the gram, Johnny.
Oh, it does smell like White Castle.
Yeah. That's the first legal pot I've seen White Castle of, or it smelled like White Castle.
3.5 grams, dude. Is it? Yeah.
Oh, Johnny.
I can't read. What's it say on that?
An 8. That's supposed to be an 8.
Johnny B.
And there's more in there.
3.29.
No, here you go. And
Sorry, man.
Plus a little nug.
It's 3.56. They're over.
They're over. Weighing her over.
I thought it was a gram.
Stem weight.
3.56.
You ever buy a gram these
Sorry,
days,
guys.
Johnny?
No.
They're almost a gram over.
I don't buy weed. I did it this time. Give me a break.
That's
I haven't
still
bought
pretty
weed
good.
in probably 15 years.
A gram over is still
Everyone
pretty good.
be real hard on
we
Johnny,
should
hit him up on all his
should let's roll
Instagrams
this
and
up.
everything. Yeah.
Huh? I don't want to smoke it.
I do. That smells pretty good. Or can we look at it under the scope or something? Who's got a
Here's your
scope? You know. Yeah, the only way to really know is if we go the distance on this shit. If it looks good, smells good.
We're twisted.
You got to smoke her up.
You got to smoke it, man.
And then everyone
And look
can,
at it. Yeah,
everyone can look at
the
your
test
face.
is in smoking and getting the feel of it. You know, who's the White Shark from?
Ready Can.
Ready Can. Red E Can, spelled RED
Ready Can.
ECAN. Who owns them?
I don't know. Is there a public company?
Can I see the box there?
Yeah.
I'm saving my next trial of the LP weed for the 7 acre stuff.
Yeah, maybe like when somebody actually comes to me and they're like, look at this
18.9% THC.
strain that I bought. Smells good, looks good, tastes good, burns well. Try this. Until somebody can come and say that to me,
Oh my God,
I'm
guys.
giving it as much of a chance as I can.
My God. It says here cannabis smoke is harmful.
What?
Oh
Are we
my
getting
God.
harmed right now?
Never mind.
Harmful chemicals found in tobacco
outta
smoke
here.
are also found in cannabis smoke. They keep relating it to tobacco smoke. I think that's not a good thing to do.
my favorite.
It's not like cannabis or tobacco smoke.
Did you also know
At
that
all.
cannabis can be addictive? Up to 1 in 2 people who use cannabis daily will become addicted. So on this show right
That's
now,
such a crock of shit, that
not
one.
counting Anil, that means there's 2 of us here who apparently are addicted. The other 2 aren't. If you're
I'm
gonna
not.
try to do this thing where you're like, if you use it every day, you're addicted, then whatever. But where's the rule of thumb? Like, where exactly makes somebody a cannabis addict versus not? And why is it
Ghost
that
Train Hayes?
one person who smokes cannabis all day isn't an addict, and one person who smokes cannabis all day is an addict? Like, this makes no sense.
There's
to me,
blatant
and it's
lies
just
on these things.
Such
I'm going to
bullshit
say the
propaganda.
next one. Warning. Cannabis smoke is harmful. Harmful chemicals found in tobacco smoke are also found in cannabis
That's
smoke.
right.
But we don't put those harmful chemicals.
No.
On the LP weed, they do. That's the pesticide
Yeah.
that they're allowed to use.
You're in a way that it's
They
true.
can use that chemical to make it burn white.
On
and
this
shit.
weed.
They're like, oh yeah, it's using tobacco. We're good.
Okay, I want to point out something here. There's the warning on this one says regular use of cannabis can increase the risk of schizophrenia and psychosis. That's not true. There's no scientific evidence that shows there's a causal relationship between an increase in schizophrenia and smoking weed. There's a correlation that shows that there might be something related to people who have early onset schizophrenia, but that is a fucking lie straight up. That is not accurate.
And it's funny, I just went and rewatched an episode of my show, a little video we put together where David Malmlevine came on and helped us dismantle some common cannabis myths. And he went into detail about how, you know, if you're going to say smoking weed at a young age makes young people go crazy, there would be some evidence of that because the use of cannabis has gone progressively up over the decades, but the rate of psychosis in the population has stayed relatively the same. If there was actually a correlation, as the numbers of people consuming cannabis went up, the people who have psychosis
David Malmlevine
would go up too. There is no correlation between
David
those two
Malmlevine
numbers.
wrote a book on that subject, Carly.
Yes, I know.
And it's called...
It's got some flavor.
It's called Does Cannabis Inherently...
Yeah. Try it. No. You have to try the Ready Count stuff.
No.
That was the deal. You made me try it. Don't know me. It's like you like roll it up.
Feel like a little wisp in your lungs, doesn't it?
Because we all tried the White Castle. We're all thinking about it. You know, what's your thought? Okay, everybody's gonna take your toke, and then we're all gonna collaborate and have a chat about.
This is the white cat, the white shark.
The white shark.
Did you just give that to me? Did I just already try that?
Yeah.
It smells weird. Bring it up.
I think I don't just tell Brian what it is. I'm just gonna say it's. I agree with that actually.
He didn't.
Lies.
Tastes kind of like vaped weed to me.
It didn't. My first go on it didn't really do it for me.
Okay, so
I don't want to. I want to pay more attention next time.
So, but it's got that little wispy feel. You know,
What's wispy?
I know that sounds crazy. You know when you roll
Wispy?
a joint too tightly
Whiskey?
and you like try to take a puff of it and it just feels like you're getting this thin little wisp and it doesn't feel like it's filling your lungs or throat up all the way.
Yeah,
And then
like
you
light.
smoke a really well rolled fatty and it feels like thick smoke filling your
Yum.
lungs and you're like, yeah,
Fills
big
you up.
toke, you know? Any of the LP weed I've smoked, I'm like, it feels like this is a shittily rolled joint when it's rolled by the same, you know what I mean? Like, we smoked 9
That's
joints
true.
and they all felt like they weren't satisfying, and then we smoked 2 joints that rolled by the same person and they were more
Okay, so
satisfying on my
the tongue's
lungs.
going numb.
Huh.
It's a weird
Penis is numb, he said.
It burns nice though. It's got nice white ash, but it doesn't
find
really
the toast
taste.
less satisfying?
Doesn't taste that good.
Like, you know?
See, like, look at how hard he's trying to pull on that doobie.
Like shit.
That's the roll job though.
No, it's everything.
Blame it on the roll guy.
No matter how it's been rolled,
It's
no
my
matter
fault.
who rolled it, no matter what strain, they've all kind of had this
God
like.
damn it! I should have never rolled it like that.
tastes
just would've
bitter.
been so much better if I rolled it properly. You know, it would have.
I don't like it has a
Yeah,
bitter.
then it would have been
awesome
a
weed.
great joint.
It's a bitter,
That would've been
bitter
a great
flavor.
rolled joint would be. Come on.
One toke's enough
And
for me.
the other thing is what you're talking about, the wispiness in your
Okay,
throat.
here's the whole thing.
Yeah, it's a
not
tickle.
It's not a real big puff. It's not. It doesn't feel like a satisfying toke.
I don't like
It's
it.
like when you're
One
trying
more.
really hard to get your hit off the joint before passing it to your friend, and the filter's taking up the whole end of the joint. You
It's
know?
missing that love.
So you don't want any more? You done?
Oh no, I don't want
No, no thanks. And you guys
It's got a
probably
bad
shouldn't either.
aftertaste. I don't like it.
Yeah, that's the thing. So this is something,
No.
you know, McMahon made one suggestion of
Like,
somebody we could mail the
McMahon.
shitty weed to, but like this is so frustrating to me because the amount of
No.
time and effort that went into growing these plants and the amount of people that need access to medicine, so frustrating. There's so much useless weed here. Like, what do we do? Who can we give this to? Like, as a protest or something? Like, I don't want to give it to anyone who's gonna smoke it because it's not good. We can't donate
No,
it to
this should
anyone
be this. All this
But
weed should be
is
destroyed.
Is there like a politician we can send this to and be like, this sucks. This really is shitty weed. Like, what? It seems so fucking wasteful, even beyond the plastic, the amount of produce. Like, this is a plant that takes time and effort and energy to grow, and it's fucking useless
Yes,
now.
Carly's ranting. That's quite a rant, but yes, you're absolutely right.
That's the wannabe.
It's
7
100%
acres.
correct. What do we do with it all?
UPS Cabs Incorporated.
I don't even get into the
And we're
cannabis
talking about
substitution project.
exactly. That's
San
what I was
Rafael.
thinking.
No, you don't want anybody to smoke it.
You don't want anyone to smoke it.
Tangerine Dream.
The Tangerine Dream,
And if we're
which
talking
actually
about-
smells.
Yeah.
Did you smell the Tangerine Dream? It actually smells good. And
tastes crappy.
and I smoked all of mine of that
It looked
one.
not good underneath the microscope.
It didn't look good under the scope, but it fit everything else. Yeah.
Jared's like, good enough.
I did. I just really like that terpene profile. So
I know. I'm a sucker
I'm
for
willing
a
to.
terpene profile
Yeah.
too. So it's your little bias.
I'm sure it's not going to hurt
that
me.
one, though.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is,
Actually, I'm not sure it's not going to hurt me
And the thing
because that's a Tweed brand, isn't it? Don't they irradiate and also probably use a lot of the pesticides?
Well, first of all, we have no actual long-term studies of what irradiated weed does to the human body. So I mean, yeah, let's get all of our medical patients to be the guinea pig for that one. Thanks, Canadian government.
7 acres.
Yes.
7 acres was just released on the market today or yesterday here in BC and in Ontario.
And so, what's up with 7 acres? I have one of their lighters, and I don't know where I got it from.
John.
Carmen Cup. Yeah, they're doing.
From John.
Yeah, they're doing good stuff over there. You know John.
Yeah, that's 7 acres.
Whole crew over there.
I
Yeah,
know
they're all
John.
like passionate weed people. So I'm hoping that passion goes into the plants and that the product comes out.
Well, that's good. So maybe I'm hoping, please.
Well, John's doing good stuff. Let's see
Maybe
if we
good
smell.
people will get licensed and grow quality
have their
product.
Spinach.
Spinach. Can I see that? Who's this from?
I'm looking at it right now.
Spinach is the name of it.
You know, kids like
Spinach by Sensi
Popeyes,
Star.
so that could be
It's
an
Sensi
appealing
Star,
name
but the
for
company name
children.
is Spinach.
That's kind of funny.
Spinach is the rec line. So who's the rec line?
Ah,
Who grows spinach?
they got me with their branding.
can't
I
see
like
shit,
it.
man. I need glasses.
Can I see the weed? Crack it open.
Weed opening. Wait up.
Wait up.
I got you the weight.
It's right here. Weigh that shit up. Carly, tell people about how the chat was criticizing when the weigh ups, or they don't think it was.
Oh, it wasn't even the chat. It was some people trying to bluff on Instagram. It was insane.
I don't care about
So
the weight.
even though we went out of our way on our show, because I knew people had been critical of videos out there already, and when we were testing on Friday, even you guys were kind of like, relax, it's okay. I'm like, no, we can't take the package off camera
Yeah,
when we're
it's
weighing it.
3.46.
We did the same thing on
Well,
my
the
show,
thing-
and
it's on
still
mine.
people
No, there's
felt
more.
like it was biased. It was crazy.
Dump it, do it.
Do it. You got to do it, man. Got to get
And
the
I mean,
full
I can
show
understand
'em.
why, you know, we have our dispensaries and everything, but the first thing that cannabis culture is primarily is activists and a source of information.
It's right on 3.5.
Like we're talking like
If
right
this
on
was
to the
weed,
last.
we would
Right
tell you
on
it's
the
good
money.
weed, 'cause we would
Yeah.
be celebrating. So it's like we're doing the most unbiased reviews we
How does it
can, and I said on my show multiple times that these
Smells like
same
a little
issues
PM.
exist in the dispensary
It
market,
smells like
exist in the
nothing.
black market. So
I don't smell anything.
you know, we did the best we could. If you don't think our
That's
reviews are
not-
enough, whatever. There's some people who think we're being way too easy on these producers. There's some people who think we're being way too harsh on these producers. So all we're
It's
gonna
always
do is
gonna be
keep
that.
doing exactly what we're doing, opening them from the seal, showing you that we're opening them from the seal, weighing them, and giving you our honest opinions of how they smell, look, taste. We've been telling you if it smells good. We just found a bud that looked beautiful, smelled good, tasted like crap.
How's that one smell? That one didn't smell. Oh, that's the one I just smelled. I didn't think it smelled like anything.
Just kind of like, you know,
No, not a fan actually. It smells like it almost could be like a sweet fruity strain, but then was grown in a shitty outdoor grow, so it lost all of its like yummy terpeness. That's what it smells like to
And
me.
dried really quickly.
Dried super quickly.
Stored
And
improperly.
not really properly, I don't think, because
Yeah. No, I'm not.
You know what? We're
I'm
getting
not
additional
interested.
mixed reviews here. Actually, there's no mixed reviews. Most people and everybody is saying.
I think it's unanimous. It's all shit.
yeah.
Yeah, what's the next video? What do we got? Oh, is this about the plastic?
Oh yeah.
Is this plastic guy? Remax. Joy. Oh, you have to listen to that now. Or are they listening to that? Oh, good. Thank goodness. Like a like. Wait, wrong hand.
No, they're
And the packaging is really
Are you gonna
starting
pull
to
up the
pile
screen?
up. As CTV's Todd Battis explains, though, one entrepreneur is trying to put all that pot plastic to better use.
Cannabis business is good. In the first 2 days, New Brunswick alone sold nearly $1 million worth. A lot of pot, even more packages.
There's so much plastic waste.
Seen side effect of the marijuana market. A little over a week after legalization, and the packaging is really starting to pile up. As CTV's Todd Battis explains, though, one entrepreneur is trying to put all that pot plastic to better use.
Cannabis business is good. In the first 2 days, New Brunswick alone sold nearly $1 million worth. A lot of pot, even more packages.
There's so much plastic waste, which I don't think is needed.
Packaging has become a hot topic in some provinces, with examples of excessive wrapping popping up on social media. One photo shows what 4 grams of cannabis arrived in. An Ontario customer tweeted, "This is the amount of waste for buying one order of 21 grams. 16 boxes full."
It would be great for this green industry to be green and to try to do it with minimal environmental impact.
The containers are single-use plastics, just what Canada's Environment Minister has warned are ruining our oceans and promised to get rid of.
We've been clear that the packaging needs to ensure that we keep the products out of the hands of children, so that's really important.
One entrepreneur here on the East Coast, frustrated by what he's seen, says he has a plan to use a lot of that unwanted plastic.
We delicately put a few in.
A Halifax nonprofit 3D printing firm that shreds plastic and reshapes it into low-cost artificial limbs wants to do the same with the lids from cannabis canisters.
We've seen that there's no plan in the province of a way to take care of this, so we figured we'd put ourselves out there and try to be the first ones that want to start collecting and as well breaking down and reusing this plastic.
The hope is to have an ample supply to create prosthetics for patients in poorer parts of the world, giving new meaning to medical marijuana. Todd Battis, CTV News, Halifax.
Yeah. Too much plastic. Too much of that crap.
Well, they need a recycling program, but we've been doing that a whole lot.
What's it doing?
I mean, look at, I can't believe
What's going on there?
Metal packaging and stuff like
We got no camera? Oh, there we are.
packaging is a huge thing. Look at the amount of packaging.
Well,
but the thing is, it's
so much
not
packaging.
reusable.
That's the thing. It's not reusable, and I think about it too. Now that we're talking about how we have all this
At
shitty
least
weed,
this isn't
the amount
that
of
bad.
energy, the amount of
Yeah, those ones are
the
okay.
amount of water that
But it makes the
took to
weed smell
grow
bad.
All this shitty weed that most people aren't even finishing. That's a huge environmental impact too. It's not a small amount of effort
Yes.
from these massive grow
Well,
ops.
these are yours,
They
aren't they?
take a
Yeah.
lot of energy and resources.
Yeah.
And now they're pretty much useless because half the people aren't even going to finish the fucking weed they bought.
Yeah, this is really gross. Just looking at all this
True.
packaging, it makes me sad. Think about how much fucking waste this is.
It's actually heartbreaking. It's
Right.
actually so.
And that- the picture-
Europe just banned single-use plastics. They're banning them completely. No single-use
That's awesome.
plastics in Europe.
The
Canadian government just insisted we have single-use plastics.
and did you hear the minister say, "Oh, we need it because we need to keep it out of the hands of kids"?
Keep it out of the hands of everyone. Nobody can even open these fucking packages.
But
But
it's
even that, yes, they are
I'm sending
recycled
back.
packaging, and the paper is recyclable.
Oh,
but
then I
the process of recycling is still an impact to the environment. It still takes energy and resources to actually break those materials down, and it does
Okay.
have emissions. So even if it is recyclable, it's still wasteful.
costs
single-use
energy.
plastic or not.
But the other thing is, did you see in the video the 21 grams that the guy bought, less than an ounce, and it came in 16 boxes or whatever? This like what the fuck? That not only is it this with the plastic and multiple layers of boxes, then you have a box that it's shipped in. Like so much plastic. That's
how
what.
good this tape on here that when you pull it
At least yours came in like one box. How many boxes like that did you get? 2 boxes. So that's 16 boxes. Yeah. So that's not bad, but still, I mean, that's still bad. It's all bad. No, it's all bad. But at least there's Buddy there trying to help out. I guess that's something. But again, I mean,
yeah, there's a lot of packaging. A lot of packaging. That's 3.5 grams.
and when you go to your dispensary, usually you walk out with like a bag of weed, and then you got it in a little zippy, and that's it. Your Ziploc.
Well, I have a lot of people that actually take their Meditainer back and they get a refill and they get
There
a
you go.
discount on
Exactly.
their medicine because they bring back their and that's I know like Abbotsford Motocan guy.
I think that's a smart thing to do. Maybe we
And-
should
and
start
I know a
giving
few people
discounts
were doing
on
that, and
bringing it
if you
out.
bring back your container that we can put it in, they give them a buck off.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Extra
point or something, you know?
Yeah.
Something, right? But I mean, a reusable
Baggies
container
are
is something
generally
important,
cheap,
and
but like I think our baggies per unit are they're like 10 cents a baggie or something, and they're like a nice little cannabis culture baggie. If you brought them back, we should give you
bottle
a.
back to the beer store.
Yeah.
They can recycle it. So why
And when I
can't
was
one of these
working at the
companies?
cannabis store, and I told other budtenders to be doing it too, those packages are designed so you can ISO the strain off. So if people brought their baggies back, you can ISO the strain off, rewrite the strain. As long as they're not worried about the terpene profiles getting mixed up or anything like that, you can use that bag as many times as you want to.
But they should be able to do some kind of a recycling. We do with bottles, we do with everything else.
And they have a sealed
some
lid.
Kind of a container, or even something like a Medtain that's poly-5 medical grade plastic, so it can be recycled.
I mean,
it can
And
just
kids have a hard. Little kids are gonna have a hard time getting in a Ziploc that's like sealed from the top.
How about
Anyway.
this? How about this? You do it the way they do at dispensaries, and if somebody has a kid, it's their responsibility to buy a special child-proof packaging, and then they can store their cannabis in that.
All of these lids are.
Give a Medtainer.
Why does a little old
Child-proof
lady who has
Medtainer.
arthritis need to buy a child-proof container if she doesn't have her
That's the
grandkids come to visit her ever? That
This
makes
one's
no
childproof?
sense.
And you gotta squeeze it to get it open? Yeah, see, that works. How do you do it? Push down on the top?
We've got straws getting banned.
That one's good.
People cutting down their amount of plastics using. We've got bulk grocery stores getting more and more popular. Yet the government of Canada is like, nope, you guys have to have everything come in single-use plastics, and these are excessively large. And I think it has to do with the amount of information they're making them put on it. So maybe if I don't know, we like think of how much
They
more
couldn't
space
put
if
they couldn't
could-
put the labeling on a small Medtainer, like they said. It was that much too short, and everybody tried to because I dealt with some LPs and stuff like that. But it's all about look at the bottle, right? And then this has got to go into.
They said it was too short to put the label on?
Yeah, just too short. Certain things. This one fit.
Too
but,
short. You need, like,
it
just
all
a
had to
bigger
do with
container.
the points, and what it has to come down to
A little
is when you look
taller.
at the label. This has got to be a certain point, and then this is a 7 point. So it all has to go in conjunction. So if you can see on here.
What a damn
So it
bureaucratic
all,
nightmare.
all the way down. So to put something on a very small, that's what you see with these joint tubes. Seeing how they put all the information on the box.
These joint tubes.
Right? And then
We got two joints.
That should be a fat ass joint up in that thing.
Not
No
just
kidding.
the problem of the
Canagar.
companies that are over packaging their stuff, but the government too. I mean, the government requiring
Yeah,
this
but
amount
then
of
they put it in
packaging
a
is
tube
wrong.
like that.
But then you've got a tube inside a box, inside of this.
And look,
Any
I
company that's
haven't
putting a
opened it yet,
package
'cause I'm
inside a
kinda
package.
curious.
Is it one?
Fucking half gram, dude.
Is it one joint or two? Open it.
Fucking pinner.
He's got to peel that thing.
Pinner. Like the ones from Whistler were like a half gram. You know what a half gram is? It's not this.
No. Definitely not. They said they were. Oh, we weighed the half gram one and it was.
It was a half gram or something.
That's
That's a pretty good one.
It's a big joint, but
How big is the filter?
Big joint of bunk.
how much did that cost you?
$16. 1.29.
It's a gram joint. So it's like that thing's probably here. Can I see it for a sec?
I'm trying to pull off the labels, right?
All this packaging for one fucking joint. This. What a fucking insane amount of packaging for one joint. That is ridiculous.
It don't matter how much packaging you put this stuff in. It's still crap. So you might as well just put it in a fucking toilet and call it a day.
Meh.
That actually tastes pretty bad.
It doesn't really taste that good. Jack Hare, it says.
Yeah, remember that Saturday you smoked?
Yeah, that was Jack
so
too.
Good, yeah.
Yeah, no. Yeah, Cookie had some of that when we were, or Neil had some of that. Yeah.
Two joints confused.
I'm not. I have no interest in smoking this weed. I bought it for the packaging, to be honest.
Ew. Yeah, that's not. I'm not impressed at all with any of it. What a sad thing.
It's funny too because when we went to
Funny
the
three.
store, when we went to
It's
the
funny
store,
four.
and we saw that you could smell the weed and that the weed smelled good and it looked pretty good.
I was excited for a bit that it might actually
All
be
of us were, like,
good.
excited. We were like, shit.
I was excited.
I was excited when I
We
drove
were
back.
all
I was like,
excited. We were like, wow, guys.
Let's
If
smoke this
is the
motherfucking
way-
shit.
Yeah, if this is the way that the legalization's gonna look, then damn, like we're pretty much there. We just gotta wait for more stores to open.
We gave
They
it
gotta
we
figure
gave it an
out.
honest shot.
We were so excited, and
Yeah.
then we
We were being
rolled
objective.
it up, and then it was like, oh fuck, we're still nowhere close to where
Yeah.
we need to be. It's great that they figured out a really good.
It was
format
during the
store,
smoke
but
session
we
that
still
things
suck.
went real sour.
Sweet sativa from Weed
Yeah. Once you smoke it,
them under the microscope,
that's when it was really disturbing. That went from being disappointed to being like, ugh.
Disgusted.
Yeah.
I literally am like, I keep seeing.
I showered for a while that night.
Yeah.
I'm literally upset that I'm like, I feel like I need to scrub myself after smoking that. Like, I keep having
Dirty
images of
government
that
weed.
one strain where even you were like, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with this, where it looked all weird on the stem, and I'm like, I can't believe I put that in my lungs, and I'm just so like.
We should have scoped it before we smoked it.
I'm kind of glad we didn't though, because
we probably wouldn't have smoked it.
We wouldn't have tried it.
That's
I
true.
wouldn't have.
You're right. I wouldn't have wanted to.
Yeah, I wouldn't have either. I wouldn't have either.
So
No.
I'm glad we made it till after, even,
Yeah.
but I'm still like looking back. I'm like a little traumatized for my first legal joints. I'm like,
Yeah, sad. It's too bad that they couldn't.
My first legal
couldn't
joints
work
in
it out
Washington
properly.
were fucking awesome, and I was like thinking they were gonna suck because it was a pre-roll, and it was good. I was like, shit.
I've heard the Washington stuff can be pretty good.
Oh, it's very impressed actually.
It didn't have to go through a government process and warehouse, did it?
I probably did, but less or something. I don't know. It was highly regulated. It came in lots of packaging too, but
They do a lot of regulations in the
good.
legal states too.
But they had like design packaging. Like Washington had cool looking packaging.
yeah, it had packages and different, like all different things, of course.
Yeah, it wasn't like this kind of like weird medicine like packaging, like it came from a hospital.
No, it was like dope
Yeah.
and like whatever, cool.
Yeah, it had like and the joint packs looked good, and they had like awesome filter paper on the back that was all like hemp style filter paper and stuff.
Yep.
That was dope. Yeah, see, Washington State, even the worst of the U.S. legalization in Washington State is better than this stupid Canadian system we have. I don't know. I'm not so impressed.
It's a start, but you know what?
It's a start.
And we always got to build, and we're going
It has its cheerleaders out there.
Everything else like that. We're hoping for. Is that the one you can't get?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
that's
guess
the one I
so.
can't get into. I'm sending it back. No, I'm just going to return it.
Yeah, and
I
people.
can't get into the package. Thank you very much. Return. What? I mean, with legal weed, I can return it, right?
I hate this brand name so.
Yeah, they try to
And
open it.
it's
and
still
stuff.
sealed. They want to know. That's the only reason that we're taking it back is if it's sealed. They said so. That's sealed. You
Yeah.
can't get into it.
Guys,
Did we?
don't use
Got one more there?
spirituality from other cultures to sell cannabis, please.
Namaste.
It's like so distasteful, honestly. Like, and the thing is, I kind of understand why they're doing it because they go, oh, well, there's certain things that the hippie culture is interested in, but some people from the hippie culture go out of their way to learn and understand what other cultures have to offer, and then pay some respect to it if they're interested in. And they actually understand what the word namaste means, probably. Like, this has absolutely fucking nothing to do with weed. They're just trying to take a word that they know hippies like, and it's so wrong because that is cultural appropriation, to take something that's from another culture that has spiritual significance and then use it to try to sell a product.
Mhm.
That's so distasteful. Like, guys, come on. The cannabis industry should be doing
That's
better
a good
than that.
point.
That's insane to me. I can't believe that like got past.
Yeah, if they use
The
something
word
like
namaste,
from-
that means my soul recognizes your soul.
Right.
I understand why some people in the hippie movement might be interested in using that, but that doesn't actually have anything to do with cannabis in itself. It really doesn't. That is just taking a word that you don't understand the meaning of and using it to sell a product. And that's so wrong.
Yeah. Nirvana did it. I'm sorry.
Well, no, but it's a fair point. It's a fair point. But again, Nirvana, they're artists. They're more doing the hippie culture thing. There's a difference between cultural appreciation and cultural
I was just
appropriation.
fucking with you.
If you hear the word namaste and you're like, oh, I like the way that sounds. What does that mean? And you look into it and you understand the meaning and the significance of it. That's hugely different than going, that's going to look really good on our packaging and make us money.
That's true. That's true.
It'll get
It's the
those
difference
hippies
between-
to smoke it.
Yeah, it's the difference. It's the difference between like going to Reserve and finding an artist who's made a
Don't
beautiful
fucking
sweater
sell
and
my
buying it
fucking
from
own.
them, as opposed to going to the Hudson's Bay and buying their knockoff Cowichan sweaters that look like the religious garments that people wear in indigenous cultures. You know,
Not from the couch.
Cowichan sweaters aren't
Yeah.
religious
Huge-
garments, are they?
Yeah, huge difference between
Is a Cowichan sweater
appreciating
a religious
culture
garment?
and
I thought it was just like made by some.
I'm not sure if the Cowichan sweaters in particular, but there is.
It's
I've
on-
seen
made in
sweaters-
Cowichan.
I've seen sweaters
By-
that
by
have
some really cool
the
people there.
indigenous styles and they're religious garments. It would be like the equivalent of a company going like taking a priest outfit and then stylizing it and making it look high fashion and being like,
that's like headdress and stuff like that.
No, there's like sweaters that are religious. They're religious robes. They're considered religious robes. And Hudson's Bay like just recently basically knocked off all the styles.
I knew the Hudson Bay did that with couch and sweaters, but I didn't know.
Either way. There's ways to
Hudson Bay will start selling weed
without appropriating them, and if you just steal one of their words and use that to brand,
yes,
that's not cool.
What's the last video we have, Anil?
Oh, this is my favorite video.
Oh, we have a couple videos maybe, or maybe we just got one. Oh, okay. What's the last video? I forget.
Did you get that article I sent you, Jared? There's some interesting points in it.
Cannabis stores will only be open from Thursday to Sunday. So there's such a shortage of weed in Quebec and they had lineups. So when we opened our cannabis culture stores, 8 of them on the same day in Quebec, they all had lineups down the street, every single one of them, for the entire time they were open, which was only like 2.5 days or 3 days or something. Yeah, so they got closed and shut down real quick. But Quebec is thirsty for pot. Thirsty. They want their weed. And they're going to line up out in the freezing cold for it. And so much so that they can't even open the stores now because they don't have enough pot. So they're going to shut them down 3 days a week. And they're only going to be open on not Monday, Wednesday, or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
It's shit.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So here's a video about it. Dun dun dun.
You know, drinking. So.
What's this weed? Good stuff.
We're all like checking before we actually.
Oh, this is the crazy. These are some people outside of the store in Quebec. I don't know what they're just showing off their weed and
End of
stuff.
prohibition. Legalization of cannabis. I think there's a lot of medical benefits to it, as well as reduction in harm of, you know, drinking. So. So this is mango. This is an indica. So this is for more of a relaxing effect, which is my preference. I also got a couple of pre-rolls. So most of these are also indica. This one has CBD in it, so it's a lower THC content. So you can see the seals on it.
It looks like you know your stuff here.
I'm a connoisseur, say that.
I don't really know. I got a bunch of pre-roll joint just to try out the selection they have. I had Blue Dream, Jack Herer. I also have some Terra. I have Tangerine Dream and Blue Dream, so we're all good. I'm all set. I have tons of things.
So did you buy your limit?
No, I'm under it. I'm really under that. Actually, right now they're running low on some stuff. So I couldn't get what I wanted, so I just select whatever pre-roll they had.
So you have a good buzz when you smoke that? And I like it because I'm retired now, but I'm playing keyboards. And I got this nice feeling, you know, sweet, soft and nuanced touch on the keyboard, so I like it a lot. I don't like that line up, but it won't be happen anymore, I guess. And I guess for all people, it will be better than anything you can buy on the street, and you never know what you are buying.
First time today?
Yep.
All right.
Been waiting 6 years to buy the legal marijuana. Yeah. Also waited 2 hours outlined in the cold. Finally got it. Super happy.
What did you buy?
Blue Dream, 15 grams. Banana Split, 3.5. Tsunami, 3.5. Mostly sativas and hybrids.
It was really excellent. Everybody goes in with a smile, comes out with a smile. It's totally revolutionary. This is great. I'm so excited. Everybody's really happy. The people inside that are working were really helpful. They're trained, they know their stuff, and all in all, just an amazing experience.
Let him in! Let him in! Let him in!
Let him in. Why were they chanting "Let him in"?
I'm here.
They wouldn't let him in or something.
Closed, probably last customer maybe of the night. You know, like big ass
Let
line.
him in.
Lots
So
of customer.
they want their weed in Quebec. And the chat's asking, somebody asked, where's Carly from? What site does she work at? Carly works at CannabisCultureHQ.com and Pot.tv. And you can find her every Monday here on Pod TV on her show, The 420 Lifestyle. Starts at 4 p.m. PT.
Some of my photos or videos or anything, you can also find them all over the Cannabis Culture social media, Cannabis Culture Official and Cannabis Culture Magazine.
Carly Marley, superstar.
try.
You do a very good job.
Thanks.
Quite a personality. Very passionate. Yes, and your show is really fun. And
We have a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah.
Well, I think last week was one of my
Your
favorite
Halloween
shows we did.
show
It was
looked pretty
so
cool.
fun. That was it was only part one. We're doing
I
another Halloween show next week, but we wanted to make the edibles
How
for
come we don't
Halloween.
have a Halloween show right now? Happy
I asked-
Halloween!
I was gonna say we should have a pumpkin.
Halloween. Trick or treater here. Woo woo.
Oh,
Neil's trick or treating, bringing out some
Neil brought
donuts
trick or
from
treat. What are we
Neil.
doing here?
Neil actually went on the Ferris wheel.
These are mini donuts
You
from
went
where,
on the
Neil?
Ferris wheel downtown, Robson Square.
Where did you get these mini donuts?
From Robson Square, where the Ferris wheel is.
Oh.
Robson Square, where the Ferris wheel is.
Hmm.
I was there on the Ferris wheel.
They're not infused?
No.
Not infused.
Mm-hmm.
They're infused with goodness and sugar.
Holy moly, they're good. You want one, Mr. Cookie? Carly? No, I don't.
Oh wait, are they?
I don't want the taco
Do you want
costumes.
a taco costume?
No, thank you.
I do with the taco
You guys wanted to call it Halloween costumes.
Look at. Where's the?
We just wanted to say Halloween.
No, look.
Okay, fine. I don't think it's gonna fit me.
No, they're big. They're one size fits
Those
all.
donuts are amazing.
250 pounds.
Tacos are for everybody.
Wu Tang is for the children. There you go.
See, you look good.
Got a
You
great
look good as a
Halloween
taco.
costume.
Nice. Taco. Why tacos?
Because what student doesn't like tacos?
Heritage moment. Yeah. So there's a guy who, the very first guy to buy pot.
I went to
in
the Taco Fino.
Canada. What's that? Oh, the scale. Yeah.
Sorry,
Yes,
we
we
weighed
are.
up all the weed here.
We
It all
did.
sucks.
Yeah, it all sucks.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Is it all under?
So it's there.
Some of it was right on, but some of
weed
it,
just sucks.
all the Aurora weed is under.
The weight of the quality was under.
Yeah, the weight of the quality
It's
was
just the quality,
under.
man. That's
Yes,
what it is, yeah.
that was
It's in-
Miranda.
it's in a lot of containers. You know, it's like wasted containers.
So yeah. Oh, Johnny put away
throw some
his
weed?
containers.
Come on now.
There's so much
Because I have no
excessive
space
packaging
here.
Yeah, it's insane.
I mean, I normally put like here's 30 grams. Pass me your jar.
So
jars.
we didn't have any trouble getting our
Here,
weed, but
this is
the weed,
amount of weed
the
that
weed
I
is
had on
shit.
the table with all those containers. I just put it in one jar.
Yeah.
Boom.
There you go. There's the difference.
Boom, motherfuckers.
And
Oh,
this stuff's,
this actually
this
smells
stuff's so
good,
much
too.
more fun to look at and smoke and smell.
That's right.
I'm just saying. So I put away all that packaging of the 30 grams that was there, and well, you know.
Can't focus it so crystally.
It's true. The crystals. Wait. It's moving too much. That's the problem. Uh-huh.
Dun, dun.
And we do scope.
Sorry, I got a dab.
We do scope, but we don't have our scope here. Oh, there's Johnny dabbing.
Johnny dabbing on the camera.
Yeah.
Getting all low and pro.
Woo! Yeah, we should be dabbing. So, our government weed exploration came up. Well, I'd say negative. Show it's just not good product. None of it. The quality is low. Some of it looks okay. Some of it smells okay, but overall, it's really bad.
And we
stuff.
would not call it quality.
No, and it smokes bad, and under the scope, it looks bad.
Oh, this one for me? Thanks.
I've sent some to the lab to see what they say about it too, but we'll find that out soon.
Neil asked, do they have other non-smokable cannabis product like oils?
They did. They had capsules,
The
oils,
tinctures.
and tinctures
Ah.
in a spray.
Yeah, the mini donuts really good. That was a box. The Neil actually just brought us $12 worth of donuts. Thanks, Neil.
Those are amazing donuts.
I know, because 2 bags was 11. Look at the
Yeah, the packaging on the donuts.
If you would have bought that from an
actually not
LP,
so
you would have
bad,
got
like-
12 donuts. Actually, I think there's more than 12 in there.
Those are fucking good.
But
More dangerous than the government weed and a lot less packaging.
More dangerous than
more
government
dangerous
weed.
with all that sugar.
Less packaging.
That didn't
Less
even have a
dangerous.
You know
on
what,
it.
Neil? I went
I
down.
say
and-
less
and
dangerous.
I actually I won a little heart. I got a little heart, a little bear, and went on a little bear. And we went on the Ferris wheel, and we threw down like. We
If you're in
threw some money.
Vancouver,
I donated some money. That's
Robson
all it was.
Square.
That's what it is. You're
Till
donating
7,
money.
get out
You
there.
got an hour and 10 minutes left.
We'd be out there.
You know what? I actually just threw down $10 and gave it to you. I should have got one of those
I
pins.
also had a great conversation with the guy from CKW who's going to come down with the CSP and see what we're doing.
Neil Magnuson.
Neil is actually out there giving back.
Thanks for the donuts,
He's
Neil.
helping a lot of the actually
So-
you say opiate addicts and stuff like that down the downtown east side by giving them packages to try and get off of the opiates they're using or other drugs by using cannabis.
One of the sad things about this current legalization effort by the government is that it doesn't actually legalize giving away free cannabis. You're not allowed, it's illegal to give cannabis away for free in Canada, the legal cannabis. No.
You can give it away if you have over 1,000 grams. You have to give it away.
If you cannot give it away. If you're an individual, you can give some away, but you cannot as say if you wanted to set up a store or a facility for homeless people or people that are suffering using opioids. You're not allowed to give the cannabis away. You have to charge the same price or more than you bought it for. That's what the law says. No, that's not an individual person, but if we wanted to give cannabis,
sounds like my drug dealer now. He buys it for less.
That's a problem.
There are dispensaries. A lot of the compassion clubs do give away stuff for free for people who need it, for patients or people who are having issues with opioids. So that is like the idea that the government could potentially crack down harder on dispensaries that are more compassionate. That's pretty fucking twisted.
If a compassion club wanted to get together and give away free cannabis, they're not allowed to do that. And in fact, in British Columbia, compassion clubs are now not allowed to sell cannabis either. They're only allowed to provide other services. So yeah, there's no. That's what they're. You're not allowed to be called a compassion club because it's medical. So all this recreational pot in the province of British Columbia and all of Canada is not allowed to be called medical marijuana, and they're not allowed to say that it has any medical value. When you go into a government store,
that's some bullshit.
Yeah, they're not allowed to tell people which stuff is good to fight pain.
But they can't say that's not medical because it is.
They're not allowed to say it.
But we can say it.
And in fact, you have to send your staff, if you have a private store, to the government school to learn what they're not allowed to tell the customers.
So we should be outside telling the customers.
Yeah, we should. But
there's other jobs
the
that
thing
can be
is,
had, right?
I wouldn't be telling them the government weed stuff, all this crap that we've been smoking.
Show them how to grow their own.
It might actually be harmful to them with all the pesticides and other stuff.
They got to grow their own.
Yeah, growing
it. Get a designated grower to grow for them.
Come to the grow school and learn how to grow a good pot.
With the fire inspector.
Gotcha.
Fire inspector lessons. Well, maybe we do. We need a Amsterdam University.
Well, I saw somebody sharing
the
about
Sunday session.
I can't remember what place it was. My iPod died, but somebody was offering a growing course, and it was all done online, and there was no hands-on whatsoever, and there was like no option to do any hands-on learning. So you were literally just reading about how to grow, as opposed to actually like growing and being like, wow, when I do this happens, etc. Which it's kind of like a hands-on thing. I can read about how to grow something for forever, and I still have a back thumb. It's going to take me practicing and learning how to do it. So
yeah. Well, so we have one more video to play here, and I was trying to explain this before. This is funny. There's a guy, the very first person to buy cannabis in Canada at a store in, where was it, Newfoundland?
He bought it from Bruce Linton.
Bought it from Bruce, from Tweed.
Okay, and then the last people to buy weed in Canada was DNA, Don and Aaron, and Kelowna.
Right, again. First person
also
again.
worked for Tweed.
Of the new.
How do you feel about that, Brian?
Well, they just wanted to buy the weed, I think.
I know they're good guys. You know, we love them, peace and stuff like that.
Who did what?
On. The owner of Tweed, Bruce Linton, sells the first gram in Canada and Newfoundland. And the last person to buy weed here, the first person in BC to buy weed, was Don and Aaron from DNA Genetics, who worked for Tweed.
Were they the first?
They were the first?
No.
100%. Yes, they were.
Oh, well.
2 Americans coming up from LA were the first ones in line in Kelowna.
Oh, well.
And it was Don and Aaron, 100%. I actually posted it. I was just like,
that's okay though.
I know it's okay. It's cool because they came up to buy their own weed.
They had to
that
get
they
up early. I was
so
going to
much.
make that trip flight and be like, be the first guy.
There's articles about
wait in line.
It's still illegal for Americans to buy cannabis in Canada, and it's illegal. It's illegal for people from North Korea and also from.
But it just stated on the news that 2 guys from America.
The South
from Los Angeles came up to stand in line to buy weed. It was on the news. It said 2 guys from North America came up to buy.
It's not illegal in Canada. It's illegal in the U.S. for them to buy Canada. Yeah,
Sorry, guys.
It's in some countries it's illegal for a U.S. citizen to buy cannabis in other countries.
That wasn't me, Brian. Why'd you do that?
There's articles about that out there. So let's watch this. Now, this is a funny little thing. It stars the guy who was the first to buy cannabis, and he's an activist, but he's a pretty funny guy. But check this out.
I like to call myself a connoisseur, and that's what I'll be known from now on for the rest of my days. I'm a connoisseur, not a, stupid stoner.
The connoisseur is indigenous to all Canadian provinces and territories.
This is history in the making. This end of Prohibition, this is 80 years waiting to happen tonight, and it's going to be me.
Known for its nocturnal nature, the connoisseur makes its home on a Sears couch and forages for random food in pantries.
Who would have thought? Ian Power of St. John's would be buying the first gram making history.
Gregarious, but often sleepy, the connoisseur is recognized by its large pupils and languid movement.
All the years of activism paid off. Cannabis is legal in Canada, and everybody should come to Canada and enjoy our cannabis.
The connoisseur.
Canadian heritage
Canadian
moments.
heritage video.
That's kind of funny. I love those Canadian heritage moments, the real ones.
My favorite maintainer box that comes equipped with my slinger.
Nice. It fits right in there. Holds a pelican. Well.
So if you ever get a maintainer box and it has this in there, can you please send it back to me?
Johnny sends you the wrong box.
Sorry, if I ship that by accident.
Could happen.
Everybody starts ordering boxes of maintainers and hope they get it.
Yeah, so there's a lot of other stuff happening that we didn't really go over on the show. Some of the cannabis, the problems, like the driving issues, and we're going to collect more
I gotta go move my car.
Johnny's got to move. Yeah, there's some serious issues with consuming cannabis and driving. We're going to go over those on the next few weeks of worth of shows, and there's a lot
I'm
of.
going to really talk about that next week, and then and what's going on, what municipalities have actually are testing for cannabis, which ones aren't.
The Dragger 5000, the device that they swab your mouth with.
We have to have a show on that.
We will next week.
We have on our show Monday. We're going to be doing our Halloween episode, and we also have somebody dropped off a sample. I guess these companies are making oral tests now, so that you can kind of get an idea, I guess, to know where you're standing at. And me and BC Betgal are going to be able to check out one of these tests we got sent, see whether or not
fail.
Yeah. But the company distributing them, there's some interesting information on their packaging and stuff. So I think it's going to be a fun show. We're going to get into that and play a bunch of Halloween games too.
I didn't notice until just now in the background there.
Halloween.
With the knives and all the bloody utensils hanging. Yeah, there's the Halloween for you.
Well,
Halloween.
Murder tools.
And if you're in Vancouver, come down to Cannabis Culture headquarters here and see our lounge is completely decked out with Halloween-y. There's a lot of Halloweeners around here.
And we're going to be here on Monday for the Halloween party?
That's right. Yeah, we're having our Halloween party on Monday night at CCHQ at the lounge.
The lounge.
The lounge.
What are you hitting there?
This is, I don't know, John, what am I hitting? This is a bong toke sponsored by Sunwest Genetics, actually. They're sponsoring bong tokes on the show.
Are they sponsoring bong tokes?
They are sponsoring bong tokes.
Sorry, I should have done a lot more bong tokes. Don't believe the guy does all the bong tokes.
Sunwest Genetics.
Next week, your guys are going to be down for some bong tokes.
And they're a seed company. You can find their seeds at Cannabis Culture stores. Nice. Yes. And they're sponsoring a lot of stuff on Pod TV these days. So big thanks to Sunwest Genetics. We love those guys. Grow your own. That's right. Get these seeds.
Grow in peace, everybody. You know
that's right.
That's what you can do in Canada now. You can grow your own. You can do it in peace, and that's a beautiful thing.
And what am I smoking on?
Bong rip. You're actually smoking some good old-fashioned Comatose Kush. You can hit that. It'll just expand the mold. It's just start coughing briefly after the amount of THC in there. Nice clean white ash. I think you can hit it 2 more times. You make you feel a little bit more better. You know what I mean? It's like bong rip.
How to hit a bong.
Sponsored by Medtainer. You know what? I sponsor a lot of stuff, Catalog. See, I'm here because I love you guys.
Whew. God damn. Thanks, John. Wow. Thanks, John, and thanks, Medtainer. And thanks Sunwest Genetics.
Thanks, Carl.
That's
Brian.
right. Thanks
Brian.
to everybody who watches the show. Thanks to
Mr.
Cookie and Carly Marley. You watch Carly Marley Monday nights on Pod TV. Monday 4 o'clock every day.
We need to start
every week. That is.
It should be a 420.
Monday every day.
Monday every day.
And Mr. Cookie, you can find on this very show every Friday.
Right.
The Fire Inspector. We're gonna have to start doing segments on Fire Inspector segments where we tear apart the weed and see if there's any good stuff.
Send the fire in. We'll tell you if it's
apart.
fire or not. If it passes, you get the fire alarm. If it doesn't, you're not getting the fire alarm.
Oh, that's such a good idea. Guys, start sending your stuff to the fire inspector, and we'll see if it passes the inspection or not.
And
Jesus, that's
you know
a
what
lot
we
of
could
free
do?
weed. Okay,
We could
I'm gonna
do-
be his actually
Volunteer fire inspector.
Yeah, we can.
I'm actually the guy that goes into the trenches and makes sure the fire is out.
Backdraft.
Yeah.
But we should do illicit versus licit cannabis, and we should on every
don't
show
send me any
show a government
If you're
brand.
sending me government cannabis, it better be fucking good.
No, we should do one of each and compare them and contrast
Is that a
them.
tow truck? Damn it.
We won't. Yeah, that's right. We can guinea pig it if we have to. But yeah, watch all the amazing shows on Pod TV all week long. There's tons of stuff. Just pretty much every day of the week. So
If there isn't, then just watch a rerun of somebody.
that's right. And usually it's around the 4:20 time of day. Yeah, 4 p.m. is our.
We don't get up.
Except on weekends, there's some 12 o'clock stuff. High noon on Saturday.
High noon.
High noon, you
And
can
big
watch
thanks to
from
Neil
your bed.
Magnuson, who brought us mini donuts.
Neil.
Those were awesome. And we did have a good show, Neil. And you can watch Neil on pretty much every Pod TV show that's ever been. And you can find him...
Cannabis Substitution Project, Thursdays and Sundays.
Cannabis Substitution Project.
Cannabis Substitution
Thursdays
Project.
and Sundays.
Thursdays, Sundays at Vandu, downtown Vancouver. Ba-bum-bum-bum. Giving away edibles in downtown Vancouver. Very important job.
Oh yeah, so Neil, you have really long lineups. Have you been dealing with the shortages too?
What Neil does is illegal under the new...
Well, I guess yeah, because you need to.
See, Neil, you're not allowed to do this under the new laws, right?
No, what we do is a protest.
Apparently,
right.
this Moroccan hash is also illegal.
Yeah, what we do is a protest. Hang on. Just slide a little bit over. Sure, see there.
Neil's gonna kind of get in here for a second,
So,
and
yeah, the whole legalization thing has affected us for sure. Our gummy supplier, for example, the main one who's been with us for well over a year.
Gummy man.
He had to stop and go back to work and stop making as many gummies because the dispensaries that he was supplying to weren't going to take them from him anymore because they wanted to be legal. And that's really a shame. And that's happened as well with the Movement. They've been supplying gummies for us as well, and they've been having a hard time. Even down in the States, they're not able to sell their edibles as much as they would like to be able to. So the medical people are still taking a big hit for no good reason. They're the sick and the suffering that we have here. And they're the ones who aren't getting the access that they even used to have, let alone the access that they deserve to have, which would be storefronts in every community that they can walk into and get what they need. I mean, where do you live in Canada that you can't get up, at midnight and go find a drugstore if you need one? I mean, they're there for people because it's medical.
Chelmsford.
Cannabis is serious medicine for many people.
They
and
need to start-
get it. They should be able to go to a store and get it.
Exactly.
So, yeah, it's still.
We need legal medical gummies.
And another thing that's on my mind
For
these
real.
days is the stigmatization, the demonization of cannabis consumers, the continued talk from the pharmaceutical side of things, the doctors that represent them. And I know they're losing a big market share, and they should be worried about that. But to continue to tell lies like they're telling about cannabis harming developing brains is a hate crime, and it needs to stop. There's no evidence to base that on whatsoever.
Yeah,
And,
all the
I put a
packaging
call
is
out to people
bullshit.
that are successful in their lives, that have cannabis has helped them function as better human beings. I'm putting a call out to them to step forward with legalization. If you're in a prominent position, if you're an artist, a celebrity, somebody that's got a position of influence or power, come on out and say so that you use cannabis. And let's end the stigmatization, because those stories are very important and powerful as well. And we need to stop the lies and stop the stigmatization. So anyway, thanks for a couple minutes at the end of your show here. I appreciate it.
Yeah, Neil, for sure.
And
Thanks for all the hard work you do, brother.
We still use more donations, as always. We have a long lineup of people. We're not giving out quite as much as I would like, but we're giving out pretty nice care packs, and a lot of people are telling us that they use our care packs, they get through to the next event. We're Thursdays and Sundays, so there's just a few days in between. And with 4 to 6 edibles, some caps and a couple of joints, that's all some people need. But some people need more than that, and I know that, and we'd like to be able to supply that. So as time goes forward, more donators would be fine. And yeah, this is a protest. We're not legal. We certainly should be. There's nothing illegal about helping people that are suffering. I mean, illegal should be about hurting people.
Helping them a lot, too.
And so, yeah, to help people that are hurting is not a crime. And the fact that they say it is our protest that we're doing twice a week. So help us
There
out.
you go. Well, and good on you, Neil, for doing it. And please keep it up and be careful.
Yep, keep up
Awesome,
that good
Neil,
work.
you're awesome.
Because the cops did go after Sarah Blythe, who's doing a similar situation in Neil down in the East End, and she was running for city council, and they came after her, and the cops harassed her and tried to shut her down, and eventually, is Sarah still doing her thing, Neil? Oh, she has to do it at the back door now.
Back
instead of
door.
the front door.
Like back
So
alley.
see these
Cramped
cops, they're pushing people into the shadows. Legalization is pushing people into the shadows.
Well, we already knew that was gonna happen,
That's pretty sad. Yeah. But I mean, I think there's still a lot of good, and I think that if you really overall look at like right now, the system doesn't work at all. It's garbage pot. There's way too much packaging. It's ridiculous. It's exploitative. It's not good. It's like nastiness in a whole bunch of ways.
For those
But
persons that have never tried weed, they're gonna get an experience. But I'll tell you right now, it can get a lot better.
oh yeah, and that's the thing is it has to if it's
to
going
start
to
somewhere.
if it's going to get better, there are ways to do it. If we get good quality product, if they limit this ridiculous packaging, if they open more stores and actually have access for people, they get other products like Shatter and all the dabbing,
Oh,
and
10
all
years
the
for Shatter,
edibles,
dude, you're not
and all the other stuff.
Take that out of your head.
Well, once that's
On that,
that's the only way to make it better.
grow your own.
Until then,
Grow your own.
it's not going to be real legalization. So.
If everybody grows 4, you can pretty much grow 5 or 10.
That's what I said. Like, push it a little.
But,
well, I mean,
you know.
Use
On
caution.
that
And
note.
make sure you check out your like local.
In BC, don't let your neighbors see whatever you do.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Because you
Public
get in trouble if your neighbors see you growing it. So, I'm not sure, actually, not your neighbors. I think it's just anybody that's not your neighbors. Yeah. If somebody walks by and can see it, then it's a problem. But so, you could still theoretically put it in your backyard.
Window, and you can actually get natural sunlight. You're probably getting.
Like there's this spot in Toronto. I stay at one of these hotels when I go there, and across the way there's a guy that has like a bunch of LED lights that are like lighting up his whole apartment. And I don't know what he's growing, but you know what I mean. And I'm like, he could just be growing like tomatoes and stuff. He could be growing weed, but you don't really know. But you know that glow of the light. Like, you know, I'm just like, shit, he's lit
We
up.
used to have a big grow room that was full of LED lights, but he wasn't growing any cannabis. It was all tomatoes and plants and flowers. So you never actually know. But I mean, like,
Lots of people do
I
that.
don't know. Some people can't afford to put big growing light systems in. Some people just want to be able to put a seed in a pot and hope for the best.
I don't think
in their
people have any
window,
idea what it's
and
going to
that's
like
not-
to grow plants. So to grow marijuana, it's just not like putting an LED light on and growing it. You guys are, there's a whole system around it. You just don't need a light.
Yeah, it grows
Control
itself.
humidity, temperature control.
Look at the LPs, man. They're growing tons of it.
If Johnny can do it, how hard could it be?
Well, I'm gonna find out how hard it is because I have a black thumb, and we're gonna be growing cannabis on the 420
And
lifestyle
she's going to be
show.
posting it on her thing.
That's awesome. You should.
Carly Marley,
and
420.
I don't know very much. Like I know a decent amount about growing because I'm hanging out with these guys, but I haven't done it myself. I have a black thumb. I kill most plants
You're gonna
I
learn?
have, so it's gonna be a very
Black thumb.
beginner's walkthrough. So all the people who are excited about being able to go at home for legalization and have no fucking clue what they're going to be doing and
Johnny's
how to do
trapped.
it, then
I'm trapped.
All right.
check out the 420 Lifestyle Show.
420 Lifestyle with Carly Marley, and check her out on social media, Carly Marley 420 at Instagram and Twitter.
And on Twitter, Carly Marley on Facebook.
Carly Marley on Facebook. Johnny's out of here, and so we are too. Thanks for watching, Pot TVers. We'll see you next Friday. We'll be back again.
We'll be back again?
Yeah, come on down
We're
to.
always going to be here forever.
Come visit
And
visit
when
a
we're not
cannabis
here,
culture. If you're in Vancouver, visit a cannabis culture dispensary and come and support our dispensaries and
And
sign
tell
our
them you see them
petition.
on Pot TV.
We're remaining open. We're right now. We feel we're protected under this court case that's moving forward. We hope that we win. We think there's we think that there might be a constitutional protection for us, so we're not closing our stores and throwing away all these jobs and all these access to patients and all of our customers. So we're still sticking it through, even though the consequence is that they could raid us and shut us down. So if you support us, come down to one of our stores. 307 West Hastings is our Vapor Lounge here. 1674 Davie Street is our Vapor Lounge and our big dispensary, and one of our stores. Got a store here. And also 3421 East Hastings Street is our Cassiar location. And what's the Broadway thing? 3175 Broadway?
Broadway and Trutch.
I can't remember. No, it's Broadway and Balaclava. No, it's Trutch. Oh, is it? What?
Trutch. And maybe the other one's Balaclava.
Okay, hold on. Cannabis Culture Broadway.
It's in between two blocks.
Now we have to find it.
Trutch and Broadway. 3147. I don't know if that's
3175.
Ooh, close.
3175. West Broadway in Vancouver. So we still... And high score 649 East Hastings. So go to all those places if you support what we do. And go to cannabisculture.com and pot.tv for all of the fun things we do. And what's going on?
CannabisCultureHQ.com.
Oh, CannabisCultureHQ.com, says Carly Marley. That's right, where you can buy everything you need but the weed.
Yeah. There is a little extra delay right now, though, because...
Oh, Canada Post problems?
Well, not even the Canada Post is starting on Friday. Just all of the wholesalers and everywhere we get our supplies from are having a crazy delay because so many more places are having to supply now. So all of the wholesalers and everything for the bongs and all that, they're all like starting to run low on stock too. So it's a pretty, it's a boom
People
in the
like
industry
weed.
for sure. Yeah, yeah.
Fucking weed's your friend.
Willie Austin
Weed
was
is your
laughing
friend.
while we were packaging stuff up in the basement. He's like, it's kind of weird though because it's like, are you gonna just start smoking weed now that it's legal? Did you not already have a pipe before it got legal? I'm like, I guess some people just want to celebrate. Not maybe they wanted a bog, but now they're not scared to have a big smoking device in their house now or whatever. But
I was always scared of having them confiscate it.
me too, and I've actually had smoking devices
Bye,
confiscated
Neil.
before too, and it's really
Thanks,
sad.
man. Yeah.
I bought myself a little bubbler once, and I had it confiscated later that day before I even got to christen it. I was so disappointed. And a sploof. The cops also found a sploof, and they asked what it was for, and I had to explain to them what it was for, and then they were like,
Explain to us what that
"A
is.
sploof? You know what a sploof is?"
It's the thing you blow through like a
Yeah,
smoke
you
buddy?
take the toilet paper and you shove it full of dryer papers, and then you put a dryer paper on the end with elastic, and you blow through that. Then it smells like fresh laundry, and the cops are like, "What the hell is this?" Because it was sitting beside the
Just
bubbler.
doing laundry, Mom.
They're like,
Yeah.
I think we have to confiscate this too. I'm like, I really don't care. Help yourself. I'll make another one.
That's hilarious. Yeah, exactly. If I had another bong toke, I would smoke it, but I don't think I do. Got any weed over there?
You got tons of weed right in front of you.
I refuse to smoke this weed. I have 10 grams of government weed in front of me, and I don't want to smoke any of it. That's how bad this shit is. So, no, not a big fan. All right, we're going to wrap it up. Thanks for watching. Tune in next week. We love you. Drug peace.
Brought to you by SunWest Genetics.